the White House, President Eisenhower signs the proclamation that makes Alaska's entry into the Union official, nearly 92 years after Lincoln's Secretary of State bought the territory from the Russian Tsar for $7 million.
The Alaska Wild Project podcast is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Barney's Sports Chalet, supplying hunters with the best hand-selected gear since 1963. The exclusive home of frontier gear built for the rugged Alaskan terrain. Your one-stop shop for all your outdoor needs. Visit Barney's today at 906 West Northern Lights.
Big Rays, the Alaskan outfitter, committed to outfitting Alaskans across the state since 1947. Whether you're a recreator, parent, guide, or corporate buyer, Big Rays has the gear you need, tailored for Alaska's harsh conditions. Check out their new exclusive line of Auralic waders. Big Rays for all your outdoor gear and rugged work attire. BigRays.com.
Tailored Restoration 24-hour emergency home services, helping Alaskans restore their dreams since 1972. Services include fire, water, mold, post-emergency cleaning, repair, and remodeling. Give them a call in Anchorage, Eagle River, Matsu, or Fairbanks. Hit them up at tailoredrestorationalaska.com.
Total Truck and Alaska Overlander, Alaska's premier supplier for custom automotive accessories and overlanding products, providing all-inclusive rental vehicles and trailers custom outfitted to explore the Alaskan backcountry with a unique and convenient traveling experience.
TheTreehouseAK.com, located at 341 Boniface Parkway, Alaska's own and grown cannabis and CBD store. Ask the bud tender what the strain of the day is to get your 10% off. The Treehouse, where the culture lives. AKO Farms, located in Sitka, Alaska, built from the ground up with concentrates as their single motivation, with exclusive products such as their sugar wax, full spectrum diamond sauce carts, and more. Ask your local bud tender about AKO. Marijuana has intoxicating effects and may be habit-forming and addictive. Marijuana impairs concentration, coordination, and judgment. Do not operate a vehicle or machinery under the influence. There are health risks associated with consumption of marijuana. For the use of only by adults 21 and older. Keep out of the reach of children, and marijuana should not be used by women who are pregnant or breastfeeding.
The Bait Shack, located on Ship Creek upstream of the bridge. Can't miss the bright red shack. They are the go-to fishing gear rental and guide service on Ship Creek. Tight lines and fish on. Come hook into the action with them. Hit them up at thebaitshackak.com.
Lawn Pro AK, Alaska's year-round professional property maintenance team. Services include weekly lawn care, custom landscaping, fertilizing, weed control, turf repair, and more. Schedule your free estimate at lawnproak.com.
Alaska's OG cider company, Double Shovel, crafting gluten-free colonial-style ciders founded as a healthier, non-inflammatory brew option. Drop by their Pop and Tap room in Anchorage off of 58th and Arctic or visit the second location in Kodiak. Double Shovel, award-winning ciders.
The Alaska chapter of Backcountry Hunters and Anglers. BHA is the voice of our Alaskan public lands, waters, and wildlife. Their goal is to uphold our hunting and fishing legacy while keeping our public lands wild. Stand up today and join BHA at backcountryhunters.org.
Alaska Mining and Diving Supply, located in Anchorage, is our go-to for powder sleds and utility rigs. Whether you're in the mountains with the flat bill bros, running trap lines, or hauling freight, they have the selection to get you dialed from peaks to the valleys. Find them on Commercial Drive or akmining.com.
Had to throw that in there.
The Flat Bill Bros.
With the Flat Bill Bros.
You know who they are. We got one in here today.
Nice.
It's like a slightly curved flat bill.
Yeah, it was supposed to be flat though, but I got a big head.
Gotta give it just like a little. I typically will just take them and just give them like a little.
Yeah, it's kind of necessity with a head this size. You got to have a little bit of a bend in it.
That's exactly why I don't wear flat bills.
Yeah.
I got this dome. It just doesn't look right.
You gotta get big
At
flat
all.
bills.
Huh?
You just gotta get a big ass flat bill.
Nah, dog. No.
Not doing it.
You're
I
about
could
to
not
say
see you.
something crazy.
I couldn't see you wearing a flat bill though, for real.
No, I tried.
I could. Your head's too big.
I tried to rock my AWP one, man. It just.
I bet the you can't even buckle it. Like it's just like
Man, fuck you.
get run.
Most of mine are on the last
Fuck you.
buckle. It's an
I go on the last buckle, and as soon as you look up,
Yeah, they
that
pop
motherfucker
off.
pops.
We gotta find you. We gotta find
I
you.
was
that
going to say, I
XL.
know which one for you. I seen last year at the Iditarod. This dude had the he had the beaver, but the skin of the beaver was the hat that went like this, and the tail was the flat bill.
Stuck way out.
Oh, dude, it's like this long, dude. It was so fun. The hat's like this tall. It's just hilarious.
Is this the same guy that had the full muskox? Remember that guy?
Yeah,
He used to just walk around like everything muskox.
Yeah.
It looks so miserably hot.
Yeah, can we talk about this?
We're talking about muskox.
Yeah, so we're talking about. Let's look at this picture right here you got going on. Right. Oh no, the other one, dude. The other one where you have it all the way. Hold on, let me pull it up real quick.
It's down there. It's definitely down there somewhere.
You're like in the woods. I was gonna recommend you for the Freaky Deaky Pod boys. Talking about Talking about the Yeti and the. Your page is pretty dope.
Thank you.
Really is.
Yeah. Except that right there. I don't know what's going on
Yeah,
right there.
that was the first.
Are you Keith? Are you single? Because that would kind of indicate.
It's a work in progress.
Well, not that, but this is the same muskox, right?
Yeah, that's the same photo, just without the photoshopping of the polar bears and the glacier and the northern lights.
And the baby polar bear.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought those were real polar bears, man.
No, you had another one where you're like standing in the woods.
Yeah, it should be coming up here quickly.
Do you run your own social media?
I do, yeah.
Oh, good job.
Damn,
no, this
yeah,
one here. Look at my guy, dude. With the wolf, dude. I didn't even notice that before.
Yeah, bro, with the wolf.
So this
That's a white wolf.
it all started when I first went down and raced my first professional level of NASCAR. I showed up and the team was like, "Hey, you need to have a hero card," and I was like, "I don't even know what that is." And so they're like, "Oh, go to your room and just Photoshop something hilarious." And so I had a picture of me standing next to my race car here in Alaska holding a trophy, and I Photoshopped everything out, put a salmon in my hand, and then me standing in the river next to a grizzly bear. And it was like poorly Photoshopped, like just, didn't know what I was doing.
Trying to put it together, yeah.
So many people were like, "How did you get that grizzly bear to just stand there while you're holding that fish?" And I'm just like, how are you that gullible? And so it kind of just evolved to now all of my promotional hero cards like just have this Alaskan feel to it, even though this one has kind of a Game of Thrones feel to it. But
Oh yeah, it does.
What did you call the image? What was it called again? Or the card?
hero card.
Hero card.
And I brought one too.
Oh yeah, you brought it over there. I got to put it over there. Yeah. Got to put it up. But that one's not like. Go get that real quick. I think that was like a normal one.
No, that's the polar bear one that's on there. But every driver does them where it's like their race car and then they're standing there in their fire suit and they're so generic and every one
just
of them
look the same all the time.
And mine just look just over the top, like
Like, who is this
hilarious.
guy?
Like they stand out, and then people are like, "Oh man!" And then you tell them you're from Alaska, and then they just lose their minds.
They're like, oh, it all makes sense now.
Oh my god, dude, that's hilarious. Welcome to Alaska Wall Project, episode 147.
No, this is 143.
43.
Wow, man.
Oh
I
man.
hope.
Okay, hold on, man. Let me get that right.
I'm looking at notes. I might have missed one.
That's that old age, man. It's kicking in.
Oh yeah, 143. Why did I put 7
okay.
there? Anyway, we got Keith McGee from NASCAR. I guess we could just
KM
say.
Racing?
Yeah. What?
KM Racing?
Yeah, we go with that.
We'll go with that.
That's just what I claim my taxes under.
Okay.
I feel you, man. I got a whole bunch of code names too.
And Morecore is a sponsor.
Morecore is my sponsor. Yep.
Morecore, and they're drilling?
Yes, they do exploratory drilling.
Okay.
They're based out of Canada, but they do a lot of work here in Alaska.
Okay.
And it's so when I came back to Alaska this summer to be closer to my kids and just do all my racing out of Alaska, I was like, I need to have a job because I'm not good at just sitting around. And so I went to work as a safety consultant, right? Because racing cars fast and being safety is hand in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got the opportunity to go out to Greens Creek Mine in Juneau and be a safety consultant for Morecore, and one thing led to another. and
Hey,
That's all she wrote.
landed a sponsorship.
your guys' brand would look really great on the side of
I'm
my
gonna have you
truck.
turn that mic a little bit towards
Yeah.
you. This part will turn right here. Like that. There you
Yeah,
go.
oh,
Yeah,
there
Is
it
that,
is.
is that better?
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Snap.
There it
we
is.
go.
There it is.
So yeah,
Morecore.
it just it was a wild summer, and turned into hopefully a wild year.
What do you think about the snow? Is this your fault?
I love the snow.
Yeah.
I flew back on Saturday night, Sunday morning from Phoenix race, and there was no snow. And then now it's
everywhere.
Yeah, it was.
Yep.
We were just enjoying Halloween in the driveway. I had a bonfire and candy. My neighbors came over, drank beer till like 10 o'clock at night. I was like, oh, this is awesome. And it's a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
And that was it. And now it's
Then
fucking
it went full winter.
snowpocalypse fucking round 2.
God, dude, I went to go.
See the grass come May now.
Holy shit, man. I've been
it's-
putting in work on this snow. Like,
It's heavy snow, too.
that's the thing, man.
Oh yeah, we're supposed to get another foot, and I'm already
Tonight.
What?
Tonight,
Yeah.
another
Yeah.
foot. So you
It's
better
just
get after this. Go finish off,
And
or you're
then-
gonna have 5 feet to do.
sitting there like wondering where I'm going to put this snow at the house because I'm already out of space.
What you need to do is start a big bonfire and just start shoveling it towards it.
Just melt a big ring.
Something like meat party at my house.
Yeah,
Bet.
yeah,
Did you say a meat party?
yeah. We
Not,
host
not, not like that, bro.
doesn't
Not
sound
like
No,
that.
it can get weird in your mind.
Nah, this ain't that.
We could pull that
Like,
picture. We could pull that picture back up.
that kind of.
So back
This guy here would be invited.
I don't even want to look at it. So
What about the one right there? That one's
No,
almost
man,
kinda-
this one
I
here.
had that
we got the
mullet.
blonde.
There it
This
is.
guy right here. This guy.
I wanted to bleach it so I could be Joe Exotic for Halloween. So I had to get a pre-jump on it because it was all washed out and had the roots showing. And so
He's got the
I had
bison in the
to,
background.
I had to grow it
The
out.
mustache.
So
Yo, that's that OnlyFans profile.
Yeah, boy.
that's my fallback. You gotta have a
Hey,
fallback.
can't race forever.
But that image is here forever. So.
That one just says, "Hey."
What's worse is the ones I removed. That was
a keeper?
That's a keeper. The ones I removed, even worse.
I feel like that's that 90s
Even
era
worse.
glamour shots photo right there.
Oh, that was good. That was good.
Just has all these badass photos, and then that one. Whoa.
Yeah, like,
What's up, Keith?
that was
Kind
big.
of make me feel a certain way when I look at that picture.
I had to throw. So if you notice too, I also bake wedding cakes in my free time.
Oh yeah, I
So
wanted to
those
talk
are-
about that.
those
Yeah,
are
you
on
got
there.
some. Oh, dude.
So
Yeah, I mean, you don't just bake. Look at this cake. This is a cake right here, right? Oh, there was. Hold on, let me pull one. of
I
the
know
cakes.
we were sitting in here earlier, and I'm like, yeah,
I half
man.
expected you to come in with a cake. To be honest.
I just baked one yesterday for my daughter.
I'm like, yeah, he bakes these fucking cakes too. And they're like,
Yeah, let me pull up
what do you mean
a
he's a
dope
fucking
one.
baker?
You ever go down the rabbit hole of like the I don't know if it's on YouTube or whatever, of like, is it a cake or not?
Oh yeah, I've watched that show. But I can always tell. I'm like, that's a cake. It's a terribly made cake as well. So,
Oh, this one's nice. That's not as elaborate as some of the other ones, but
yeah, there's some really good ones on there. There's ones that on there you wouldn't even know are cakes, and they're cakes.
What's up with those? Are those real leaves?
oh, like
scroll
this
back.
one.
No, s-
Like look, this one. This is a
No,
cake.
they're not real
right?
leaves.
Oh,
Yeah,
awesome.
that's a cake.
Yeah. So
Damn,
for people
that's
listening,
fun.
it looks like a pumpkin with a knife going through it and blood coming out of it, but it looks like a legit pumpkin.
Can you eat the knife?
Yeah,
Oh, the knife is.
the knife. is
Oh,
edible as well.
shit.
I didn't make the knife. I bought the knife at Michael's.
Have you
It's an edible knife.
Yeah,
That's fun.
don't they have a show? That's like.
yeah, and it's
Is that briefcase
so
a cake?
Have
they
you
tried
applied
to,
for that?
Hold
no,
on,
so
hold on. Go back to the
yeah, the
briefcase.
briefcase is a cake as well.
oh, I thought that was a real briefcase.
You can tell.
Damn.
Yeah, look at you go, man.
So-
You do all the frosting and like buckles and all that.
Yeah,
This explains that photo.
yeah, right. That's
100%.
That's when he's in bacon mode.
He just flips that blonde streak aside and just gets to work.
It's cake time.
So in 2018, NASCAR and Discovery Channel came to Alaska to do a TV show on us. It never made it to air.
Oh.
But the producer from Discovery was like, hey, I hear you bake cakes. And I just thought the dude was into cakes. And so I sent him a bunch of pictures. And then the following week, another producer from LA called and he's like, hey, we're trying to do this cake show. You want to be on it? And I was like, okay. But that never panned out.
I mean,
feel like you
don't give up
definitely
on it,
qualify,
man.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, definitely. What was
really
the show that Lizzie was on? Wasn't that a
Master
bake-
Chef.
Oh, okay, that's like chef stuff.
Yeah. Do you know her though? 'Cause she's a baker too.
They got their own.
bad
They got
with
their own
names. If I
group.
know you, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, but how many
It's a secret
professional race
society.
car,
Probably.
race
Yeah.
car drivers bake? elaborate cakes?
Not many. Every time people find out about it, they're like, there's no way you really bake these. And I'm like, yeah. Well,
I bet a lot of those dudes
That
are
is
into
so
like
cool.
smoking meats though.
probably.
They got a mean roast.
They got that Traeger just ripping or
Oh,
what?
you know it. This one's pretty elaborate. What is this cake too on the side?
No, that's just grass.
Okay. Dang.
I think that was the first attempt at a pumpkin. That's why the stem of the pumpkin looks way off.
Oh, it doesn't look too bad.
It looks horrible.
I mean, could be something else.
But yeah, that's Shopkins. That Shopkins one there in the middle.
But you could do fancy shit like wedding shit. Like, look at this.
Yeah,
This
so
is
that-
like a wedding.
that cake weighs 52 pounds.
Whoa. Oh, it is a wedding cake for Tia and Andy.
Yep.
Damn, that is
actually a
like
nice one.
This, like, the way you make those like folds, and then this looks like a expensive couch style.
Like leather?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the look,
That's
the look we were going for. With
That's
the
that
expensive-
Maybach, that Mercedes
expensive-
Maybach seat right there.
Damn, that's legit, dude. How long does it take you to make one of those?
That one took me about 3 days.
3 days?
Jesus Christ.
Walk us through the process.
Well, you bake the cake one day and then you frost it and then decorate it and stick it all together and finish it. So
You know,
We could do
What-
that
what's
and it
your-
won't look like
takes,
that.
it takes roughly like 12 hours of actual work.
what is your
to-
schedule in October?
Okay. It's I'm
Is it-
pretty booked up.
Is it? I got a sweet 16 daughter's birthday coming up, and I'm just thinking,
Yeah, but see, you see that and you're like, yeah, that's what I want. But then you find out like how much the materials cost just
Yeah.
to make
Oh.
it.
It's like this hunt we're
And you're
talking
like,
about.
I'm gonna hard pass on that. That was a good idea, but yeah,
Oh, God, okay, I see.
Like to make that cake there, I think it was probably like $300 in just materials.
I still have to buy her a truck too, so I'll
Look at these cakes.
compromise for the truck for the elaborate cake.
So
Yeah,
let me ask you this. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that was a cake I made for a girl I was trying to date.
Oh.
It worked
Yeah, I
out.
would've
I got
figured-
I got engaged to her, but then we split up.
Oh, man.
So
So
these
that's a superhero cake. You got Thor and Iron Man,
oh,
Captain America,
oh, nice.
and
The Hulk. Is
yeah,
that what we got?
the Hulk.
Yeah.
I knew I was forgetting one.
Was this the girl, Fresh Princess?
No, no, the girl is. I won't say her name. We're still friends,
Okay,
but
so-
I won't say her name. Most people know her.
Go to that one next to it though.
Yeah, that one's pretty.
Yeah, that's dope. Who?
Yeah,
who
this was my daughter's 3rd birthday. She asked for a butterfly cake, so I made that, and then behind when we set it on the table on the window, the butterflies transferred up onto the window too, so it kind of went off the table on the cake on the window.
Damn, man.
So
Man,
Who's
Attention to detail.
who's buying these?
I don't sell them. These are all baked for my kids.
Oh,
this is
so you don't
solid.
bake them for? So you
No.
bake them for like friends and stuff.
Yeah, friends and family. I've never sold a cake.
Oh, gotcha,
Like
okay.
the wedding cake was for my friends. I couldn't make it to their actual wedding. It was in Hawaii, and so they were having a reception here. And I was like, let me make you guys your cake. And they're like,
Yeah.
okay. And so
Yeah, that's
I
so
haven't-
Bro, I think you're
haven't
missing
sold a
out.
cake. No,
Yeah.
but see, people hit me up all the time to bake cakes, and then I'm like, I don't know if you know like how much it's going to cost just in material.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like they won't even want to pay the material cost. And I'm like, then I'm going to spend 12 hours. So if you want to slide me a couple $100 extra bucks, make it worth my time. But
Yeah.
But I think in the wedding world,
I think you got a fallback business here.
yeah, trying to do fallbacks. The big one is the picture I just recently posted was the homemade s'mores.
yeah, I saw those.
Those are hit. I almost brought you guys in. So
I saw
sorry
those,
to tease and not bring it in, but
Oh,
It's okay.
Let me pull that up.
it should be the
It's the
very
first picture. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, that one.
Oh, yeah.
Trust me, I was
So-
looking
that
at
was
it. I came across my feed.
Yeah, so I was
And I was
just
like, this son of
last
a
year before the
bitch.
season, I was sitting around and I was like, damn, I want to bake something. I was like, nobody's really baking marshmallows from scratch. Let me figure this out. And so figured out how to make
Dang,
marshmallows from scratch.
Keith, you have a really incredible talent, bro.
Yeah, I know, but here I am.
I'm just saying, like you got something legit to offer this industry when you're ready to actually do it seriously.
Yeah, I don't think I ever will be.
Okay.
But, I agree. On a real note, though,
I mean, I'm looking at this is incredible shit.
There's nobody-
I'm blown away, man.
I don't know. I'm not in the baking industry world. I like to.
I mean, people pay a lot of money for cakes.
Yeah, like
Well,
nobody's
you
making.
like you do a lot of meat off the bone, which is weird. But
Yeah,
whatever industry you're into.
catch me at the boneless meat parties. But Nobody here. I
me
don't think
probably
anybody's making this type.
Cakes like that? There's
Yeah.
probably some. There's probably a couple.
Yeah, there's definitely cake bakers up here in Alaska that are doing it.
There's
professionally.
cake bakers that are professionally here, yes, but I haven't seen any cake bakers that are making those themed cakes.
Yeah,
I'm sure there
Like
is.
you're
I'm
doing
sure
for
there is.
kids and stuff like that.
But
Wedding
it's just-
cakes, yeah, they're everywhere.
Is it really appropriate to call him a cake baker, or would you be a pastry chef? Or what
Oh,
would
yeah,
you
good.
actually be?
What would you prefer?
I just say I bake wedding cakes. Chicks like that more, I think.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Fair.
It's
Yeah.
it's simple. They know what a wedding cake is, and I'm like, no way. And then you show them, they're like, oh my god, you make these?
Hell yeah! Can I get a ring?
Yeah.
On the side, you know, I kind of feel like.
But in all honesty, you know,
like
when I started making these, and I was like, this is gonna work so well on the women.
No? Grandmas, though.
Yeah, their parents are all about it, and they're like, this guy's amazing. Can he bake this cake for us? I'm like, oh, shit. So
Would you go on a show, though? Like one of those shows where they... Because a lot of times they want to have someone that's like already has some notoriety or like famous from something else to go on these like baking shows. Would you do something like that? If they're like... The cooking channel's like, hey, Keith.
I would, but I'm always worried. Like, what if I go on there and just make a total ass of myself?
Yeah.
So
But what if you go on there and kill it
I
though?
probably would.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could, but then people will be like, "That's that cake baker that drives race cars instead of that race car driver that bakes cakes." You know?
Yeah, you don't want to get the reversal on
Then
that.
they
would
creep your page, and
definitely-
then that OnlyFans photo pops up. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what the
Oh,
fuck?
yeah. I'm going to sign up.
I'll have to ask the woman I'm currently dating if she's seen that photo.
Whoa!
Scroll down that.
She might have. I don't think she has.
How long have you been dating?
Just a few weeks.
Oh, okay.
Hold off.
We won't ask any questions.
She's pretty in depth.
Keep showing her the race car
She's
photo.
found stuff on me online that I didn't even know was online.
So she saw that picture and was like, I'm just gonna gloss over this.
She just put that one in
Give
the
us one
questionable.
pass.
She's like, I'm gonna save this one, feel
Yep.
it out, keep it
Yep.
for later. Just gotta circle back, you know.
He does me dirty. I'm bringing this photo up.
I should probably get rid of that photo. I thought it was a good photo, good composition. You can see my eye color, but
Yeah, feetfinders.com, baby.
you know, it shows the softer side of me.
Yeah, good job, Keith, on that.
Yeah.
Did you see the one with the American flag though, spray tan on my chest?
Oh, let's go back to that.
Yeah, I think it's on there.
Yeah, but I think it's
It might not be. It might have been on my Tinder profile, and that's definitely not coming up. It'd be way down.
no, it's way because it's been years. I
You
think.
dress up
that
good,
was-
man. You
Yeah,
dress
it's
up
been
good.
years since you.
What
did
happens
that.
when you're single and then? Oh, I like that picture right there in the middle. That's pretty sick, right there.
Like a painting.
Yeah, when you are a single person and you have a Tinder profile, now you're officially dating. Does the Tinder profile drop?
Yeah, it was deleted.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if like it just keeps floating around out there. Is that acceptable?
No, I hope it does not. Cause
Okay.
We'll just scroll back.
It's past that.
Please stop that. Just
I don't think it's on there. Yeah.
You had what, a spray
That must
painted?
not have. I
No, I
could
think
pull it up.
It's been like
It was after that. It was around the time I took that.
it's been some
that very
years.
GQ picture on the muskox because my hair was. So, I try to go all out for like holidays and stuff. 4th of July, I love 4th of July, and so
real American.
let me see if I can find this. Make sure.
Yeah, pull
Catch
it
him
up.
at the car
Or
launch
you
if
can
you're looking for him.
airdrop it to
Yeah,
me.
the car launch. This
Car
is
launch.
I did this and went to the car launch, and people recognized me and force fed me alcoholic beverages, and I got way drunker than I was anticipating
I've always
doing.
wanted to go to that.
Oh, me too, man.
It's such a good 4th of July.
I
event.
hear it's really
So
come
good.
back after COVID, and it's really, really good venue.
Yeah,
It
I,
is
Is it? Where is it? Sutton?
Gets a lot of people.
Glacier View.
Glacier View. Okay.
It's just
Yeah,
so
Chickaloonish.
crowded.
Is it crowded?
To the
there's-
point where cats are parking on the highway
To see it from
and
there.
making that walk all the way down.
all the way down. Oh, you got to go all the way down that.
Unless you can like hustle someone to give you a ride on their wheeler or side by side. Some
Maybe-
cats are out there making money shuttling people back and
Hey,
forth.
I know a guy. I'd have a business.
It's coming
Shuttle
soon.
you up. Shuttle you up.
Stay tuned.
A party bus all the way out there from the valley would be.
Yeah, take you all the way there and then right back to Big Lake.
Oh my God! Could you imagine how many times they'd be like, "Would you pull over? I gotta pee."
Yeah.
Would you pull over? I gotta piss.
No, you got to get one of those.
My girlfriend's about to puke.
You just put a little
Princess
hole in the
tour
back.
buses, man, where they got the
little hatch.
bathroom up beside it there. Let it drain out the bottom and just say it's AC condensation.
Yeah. Don't fools get in trouble for that kind of shit?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Like guys lose their boats and shit type shit.
Oh man, I can't believe I'm about to show you guys.
Yeah,
this
don't
photo.
dump
Oh,
that
here
in
we
the
go.
water,
Are you going to
baby.
send it to me?
Don't dump it in the water, man.
Oh, yeah, bud. Oh,
man,
yeah.
look at that body,
Hold on.
though.
Can you airdrop that this way so we can let the world see?
My airdrop is broken.
Did you miss? Did you miss leg? Did you miss leg day though, bro? Like,
I've got huge legs.
Send it to me on Instagram.
Listen, he only needs that right
Right.
leg to hit that gas
I
pedal.
just
Airdrop. Here we go.
This is
Dan,
right
I think
this-
it's going to be under Dan.
Brandon.
right is
Go to
right.
Brandon's
Yeah,
MacBook.
there we go. Whoa.
Oh, he's getting excited.
Right,
over
yeah,
there. Got him all flustered. He saw me. So I went and got a spray tan of the American flag on my stomach, and the worst part about that was having to shave. Like that's horrible.
Oh, shave the chest?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. No. I like to trim it here and there, but
Yeah,
that's
it
about
was.
it.
Let's see where to go. Where to go?
It only gets sent once, so one and done. Don't lose it.
It's probably in your downloads.
It's like It's like dated or something.
It was
It's not pulling
from
up.
July of 2020.
July of 2020.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it?
There- oh yeah. We got it.
Yeah, send that this
I mean, there's a lot of layers to that.
You
Like, there's
got
an American flag shaved into my mullet. There's the American flag jorts that I made. You know, it's
God, this is like screaming cover photo for YouTube right here.
this photo's lived online pretty well. Like, there's women all over the United States that have had the pleasure of seeing this photo pop up on their Tinder, and you know, it's not something I'm severely proud of,
That
but
was legit your Tinder photo.
I'd be proud
oh
of it.
yeah, like that one, like that let the ladies know I like to party.
I'm trying
yeah.
to send it to you, Daniel.
Let me see, is my airdrop on?
Yeah, I don't know.
Your airdrop was not on.
Oh, hold on. Here we go. It was on there.
So we are.
Damn, boy, if you guys had some Samsungs, we would have been done with this by now.
Samsung.
Hell yeah, my hair grown back,
Listen, man, this is
Even in
America.
my bald spots.
We are in America.
Yeah,
Okay.
Samsung, baby.
Apple.
That's you can tell everything you need to know about a person if they have a Samsung.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we're sophisticated and
Yeah,
classy.
I don't think that's.
Shit.
I don't think that's anything.
Oh, it's just
don't
that's
know.
just full
All
Mickey
you
Mouse.
Apple, all you iTunes people, and then we about to pull up this.
Oh, we're putting it on the screen for
Yeah,
the world to
oh,
see.
yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna show what Apple people are like.
Samsung's
Yeah,
just they
Clearly,
just
this
screw up
person likes to
group
party.
chats.
Oh, yeah.
See, that's a real American right there. Rocking,
Whoa.
Drinking the American beer.
Oh, the
taking
American
with
Ale.
an Apple phone. Just okay. I see this.
So, is this this is a suntan?
The spray tan, yeah.
I think my favorite part of that is the fanny pack.
Yeah, the fanny pack's good too. I painted the stars on the fanny pack as well.
And you
So,
didn't put the stripes down here
I
on
did.
the
I
shorts?
bleached the shorts. I painted the pockets, and you know, I went all out.
What if,
So-
what if the fanny pack was a cake?
So I used to have a clothing line back in the day here in Alaska, and so you know, I kind of
And that was called
Seventh Star Clothing.
Seven star.
I don't think you'll find anything online about it. So
This is MySpace days.
yeah, I think I folded that company in 2012.
Oh, okay.
So
What was it called again?
Seventh Star Clothing.
Seventh. Okay.
You know, there's a I don't want to jump all the way into the race stuff yet, but there's a debate. I wouldn't say debate, but like people are like, "Oh, those dudes aren't athletes," but you guys are like,
Yeah,
you got to be
well,
in
that's-
shape, man.
Yeah, it's you know, somewhat right. You got to just have good conditioning. It's
Conditioning.
miserable in there.
Yeah.
So like most people, you know, we would all agree football players are professional athletes. They only have like 13 minutes of actual like physical exertion during a game. Mm-hmm. We're in a race car for 3 to 4 hours. It's 160 degrees inside that race car, no air conditioning, and then in a fire suit, and then you're constantly working. So
On
you're-
high alert.
Yeah, super high alert,
man,
adrenaline
yeah.
super high. So I'll lose 18 pounds in a race.
Oh wow.
Just
yeah,
sheer
dude.
water weight.
Yeah. So for people that say we're not athletes, it's it's
bullshit.
pretty miserable conditions.
So I grew up in the
Believe
Indy
that,
world. We used to travel around and go to all these IndyCar races, and that's where I learned, like, these aren't just regular dudes. I mean, they're regular folks, but the conditioning that they got to go through in order just to hold that damn steering wheel.
Yeah, it's
Because it's not like your car where you can just one-hand it. The faster you go, it's easier. Like, nah, dude, those things.
You're gripping the whole time.
Yeah.
so in a corner for most races. I endure more G-forces
Yeah,
than an astronaut
turning.
on launch.
Really?
So
Over and over and
Yeah.
over again.
and it takes 800 pounds of force to engage our brakes, and you're pressing that 2 to 4 times a lap. And you go out there for 200 laps. It's a lot of reps on your left leg.
No. Now, we were talking about before the show on how you can practice, or you're not allowed to practice for the shows, but like keeping your endurance up and keeping your game tight, they do it all through simulators.
Yeah, all sim work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's,
that doesn't, but that's not applying the same like
No, 'cause
pressure and all that stuff.
You're in shorts and your air conditioned house, and you can get up and go to the bathroom and do all that fun stuff, and
Yeah.
you're not tied to it for hours. But once I get in the race car, it's finish the race or get out when I wreck. And
Yeah. So how do you stay like in shape for that? Is there like certain regiment you do?
no, not at all.
No.
I mean, most people do, but most people I race with are 18 to 25-year-old kids, and here I'm 42 years
young.
old, and
They don't need to do the workout.
yeah. So there's stuff I do in the off season that helps me out through the year, but like most of it's just shoulder and neck work that and mentally you got to stay on top of it mentally, because it is a huge mental tax just to sit in a race car when you get in there and it's 160 degrees and you're in your fire gear and no air conditioning. I mean, it's not a pleasant place to be.
Yeah. No way.
You hydrate like crazy, though?
Only under caution. So I have a water bottle in there, but you're so hyper focused on what's going on around you, like you're not thinking about anything that's going on with your body.
Cramping up or anything like that?
Yeah, you don't really cramp up. At the end of the race, you go through these like really severe swings, physically, the adrenaline dump, and then the migraines come, and trying to reintegrate and get hydrated. If you drink cold water when you get out of the race car, you can go into shock and die. So we try to drink warm water when we get out and just slowly build it back. But what's really cool is when you get out and you go have a beer, and I'm wasted. So
Yeah. I remember when Kyle, I want to say within the last, I want to say 5 years, it might have been longer. He runs that M&M car.
yeah, Kyle Busch, he used to.
When he won like his first chip, and he was doing his post-race interview, and he was just slurring and schmammed, and he only had like a beer.
Yeah.
That explains it.
Yeah, you're so dehydrated. It just, your body absorbs it so quick that you
Yeah.
just, like, you'll sit there and I'll take
Instantly
a couple
into the
drinks and I'll be
bloodstream.
like, hey, you guys, I'm pretty drunk. I'm not going to lie.
Put me
Like,
back in
damn,
this
Keith,
car.
you just had half of a White Claw. Man.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty wild. Like it just hits you so quick, but then it goes away pretty quick too, right? It doesn't like last for a long time just because your body's trying to get all back together. But yeah, it's pretty cheap.
So
to
you're
eat
kind
after a race.
of a mess for a little while afterwards.
Yeah, so typically I try not to go out and party after a race. I try to go back to the hotel, take a shower, and lay down because I know what's coming. Like the migraine is just insane, just how dehydrated you are. If it's really bad at the track, I'll go get some IV and take care of it there. But for the most time, you just go home and lay there and try to rewatch things and catch up on social media and answer questions and avoid the trolls and
Yeah. It's kind of like you the other day, huh? When you had to go down to get the snacks with the snow machine.
Yeah, them haters out there. Yeah, buddy.
Oh, what are we talking about?
So this guy, so when it snowed a bunch, I don't know if the truck was stuck or what, or that little Mercedes you got wouldn't make it.
The Mercedes is parked for the year.
Okay.
It's in the garage?
Nah, the toys are in the garage. That car outside on the side
It's
of
a
the
real
house.
Alaskan. This is a real Alaskan,
Yeah.
bro. They don't put the car in the garage.
Oh, no, right?
Man, forget that 3 stars, man. 3 points. The driveway was plowed, but there was so much snow that
In the road.
I could only plow down to the end of the driveway, because then you're in the cul-de-sac, right? Which I don't care. I'll dump it in the cul-de-sac. That's just an understanding that me and
The neighbors
I
got.
won't say the name of the plow company. No, I live in a cul-de-sac by myself.
Oh,
In the wintertime, there's 4 houses in my cul-de-sac, and in the wintertime, I'm the only dude living there.
Oh, they all snowbirds?
Yeah, they all snowboard. I'm the youngest dude around
You
there.
know, they say it's really hard to hide money, but continue.
Yeah, right.
Parks member state, he stays outside. I live with snowbirds.
No, I just make poor financial decisions, man. No, I can only plow to the bottom. And then the four-wheeler kept getting stuck and everything because I got 20.
Oh, you got a little plow on the wheeler?
I got 28 inches out there, yeah. And so I was like, I'm not even going to attempt to take this truck out there. Because then if it gets stuck, I'm assed out.
Yeah, heavy.
And you know me. I live alone, man. I go out to eat every day. Bro is hungry. I need snacks, right? And I'm like, God, dude.
Well, you don't got like a real pantry full of food because there ain't nobody living there. Just you.
I got a lot of frozen stuff.
Just Mayor and the Bears.
Just me and the Bears. And I ain't about to cook in the house. But I needed some snacks, man. And I had to get to the store. I said, shit, guess we firing up the sled today.
And just drove it down the road?
Pulled the sled out the garage, hooked up the ice fishing sled with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heading on down to Fred Meyer's.
15 miles down the road, we pulled it to the Walmart. People were taking pictures.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I parked it right in front, too.
Yeah.
Like, that loading zone that's not really a loading zone. I just, right there, jumped off, went inside, got my shit.
You're out.
Came out, throw my groceries in the back of it, and scooted on back to the house.
That's like out of place for Eagle River, but that's totally Valley right there.
Oh, yeah, that's 100% the Valley. Yeah.
Well, that stretch of Eagle River from the Walmart into the Valley is pretty country.
Yeah, it's pretty, for the most part, yeah. Once you hit Prudhoe Bay, from there back, it's just
deep.
It's just dead.
So I went out and did a photo shoot on.
I know. I saw you, man. I was good. I met the troll
down the Eagle River.
Say, don't be coming to the mayor's backyard.
Man, it worked out perfect. The clouds like broke and the mountain came out.
I know.
I was there. I did it by myself.
You welcome.
So,
I thought I saw the picture.
Photo shoot?
I just set up a tripod and put on record and walked down a little bit, walked back, and was like, nailed it.
Right there?
Yeah. As soon as I saw it, I said, damn,
what an awesome photo.
That's my damn street right there. I said, this son of a bitch.
That's dope, man. You did pretty good at that.
More core.
Yeah,
you know, baby.
Yeah, you're good at that.
Mm-hmm. Did all the editing myself. So I taught myself graphic design years ago after my brain injury, and that's helped out.
Can we get into that? Is that
graphic design?
No.
That's cool. Graphic design is dope. I was more or less talking about the brain injury, unless there's maybe like a lead up.
No. We should talk about that.
You mentioned the crash and your memory, and I don't know much about this, so like elaborate. What?
Yeah. So when I was on active duty in the Air Force, 2005, I suffered a brain injury. I was home on leave.
Okay.
So it happened here stateside. I was visiting my parents in Northern California, and 6 individuals jumped me and suffered a pretty severe brain injury.
Oh, it was like a fight deal?
Yeah, one of them hit me in the head with a baseball bat.
Jesus.
So it took me 2 years to kind of get back to what I classify as like functioning. You know, suffered seizures and a lot of relearning on things. And luckily, the military didn't kick me out. They kept me around, and I stayed in the Air Force till 2009. So.
Jesus, where was this at?
It was Lake Tahoe, California.
Oh, okay. It wasn't up here.
No, I was visiting my parents.
Oh my gosh.
So you're on break, and you're just out doing like running to the grocery store?
Yeah,
something?
no, it was New Year's, and so Lake Tahoe on New Year's gets pretty rowdy.
It's cracking,
They close down the street. It's kind of like, New York City,
mini Vegas type.
People everywhere, just partying, having a good time, and some individuals, decided they wanted to have a brawl, and I was on essentially the losing end of that one.
Jeez.
So.
Did they ever find out who did it, or was there just like...
No, they scattered. The cops never found them. I didn't go to the hospital right away. It took me a few days to go to the hospital because I'm kind of hard-headed. And so... But yeah,
so so you got jumped, you got beat up, and then you got whacked on the head.
Yep.
With a baseball bat. Did you have like a skull injury or something?
I didn't have any cracks or anything. Okay. So when I finally did go to the hospital, severe concussion, but at that point they were like, there's no bleeding. You'd be dead by now. But I had also broken my arm. So they were more worried about that. And then
it was 2 days with a broken arm.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm pretty hard headed.
You were like, I'm going to shake it off. It'll go away.
I just compressed my spine at Phoenix and just the other day and, didn't go to the hospital. And anyways, more on that later. But I'm just hard headed when it comes to medical stuff.
I know exactly what you mean.
People find out they're dying when they go to the hospital, and I just rather die.
I'll feel you.
I'm the same way, man.
I'll feel you.
Like they're like, do you have a
stubborn man thing?
What's the word when you have like a regular doctor? Like who's your
primary
care? I was like,
I'm the same way.
Emergency room?
It's the VA.
On that note, if anybody's got a suggestion, anybody's listening, I'm looking for I want a doctor. I want a man doctor. You turn 40, you got to start doing your checkups and shit. Yeah. Get some blood work done. I need to
You want 3 instead of 2? Got it.
I don't want none, but I also understand what happens. Well, I'm just saying, I've been kind of the stubborn guy. I refuse to go anywhere near any physician, dentist, doctor, whatever the fuck. I don't want to go anywhere near a medical facility whatsoever. And I know at some point you got to get checked out, at least annually, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of the same. I get hives just randomly, I've got one on my arm. Just I don't know what's going on.
And it might be different if I was single, but I have family and children, and my wife's always chirping at me about it, and I'm like, So if anybody listening wants to chirp in and send a message, hey, I got a good referral for a doctor.
Man. You're not the only one. I'm sure half the guys listening right now are like, I haven't been a doctor since I was born.
And I don't want to just go to a doc in the box. I'd really like to find a cat that's in his mid to late 40s who's going to be working for another 15, 20 years. I can go see him once a year. He's not going to retire on me next year, and I'm about to go find him again. So just want to throw that out there.
Okay, good. Good call for
for
butt check. Sounds like
so essentially, if you're a doctor and you're in your 60s and you have big knuckles,
we got a guy for you.
Actually, I'm hoping for a guy who's got some very nice slender office hands. I didn't even feel it.
Those type of dudes have photos.
Unfortunately, I've already
blonde hair.
Unfortunately, I already had some severe back pain years ago, and I had a doc. He was doing the process of elimination, and was like, "We're gonna do this." I'm like, "What?" But now I know though.
You've got quite a few back
now
surgeries.
I know for sure.
Ain't nobody ever done that.
all I know is I go one way now. I know for sure. There's no questions asked. We cleared that out of the way years ago. I'm good to go.
Man.
That was kind of odd, man. You said you went in for what, and they did what?
It was like a back pain.
Yeah.
And he was like, we're going to check this. And I'm like, I'm going to trust you on this, I guess.
We're working from the inside out.
So leading up to that, though, you were questioning.
No, I was just saying. Now you're
like, just
well, it was just one of those things where you're like, I'm fucking manly. Fucking And then that happened, and I was like, oh, God damn, that's very unpleasant, and would never want that to happen again, and realized, hey, fucking locked in, man.
I did talk to someone. Now they could just do a blood check just next time you go.
Well, this is wild.
They don't got to do that anymore, I guess.
Maybe I should have left. Maybe we should have left one in the vault.
Everyone knows.
It's okay.
Oh my God! Okay, well,
rough.
I think I need another beer.
They listen to us all the way in Colombia, so they about to hear that too.
Cam Chattanooga,
the cartel's about to come knock. Hey, we got a job for you.
Yeah, heard your back hurts.
Yeah, I've got
how many balloons can we squeeze in that motherfucker?
I've got a good cartel story involving the FBI.
Oh, you do? Oh, okay. Let's
do a break and get back.
Okay, let's do a quick break and then we'll come back to that cartel story. Barney's Sports Chalet, supplying hunters and outdoor enthusiasts with the highest quality gear and equipment since they opened their doors in 1963. Barney's carries exclusive brands such as Alpaca Rafts, Sitka Sims, Exo Mountain Gear, Hilleberg, and much more. Barney's prides themselves with keeping a huge stock on hand of various top-of-the-line tents, footwear, sleeping bags, optics, cross-country skis, just to name a few. Barney's is also the exclusive retailer of Montana Knives, Seek Outside, Kafaru, Stone Glacier, and their in-house brand, Frontier Gear of Alaska. Barney's has a superior selection of top-rated boots, sleeping bags, dry bags, mountaineering gear, electronics, and accessories. Need freeze-dried food or mountain snacks? They got that too. Barney's now has an amazing new paperback catalog available for in-store pickup or online order. Visit them today at barneysports.com, or even better, stop by the store in Anchorage at 906 West Northern Lights. If you want the best, there's only one name in the game, Barney's Sports Chalet.
Alaska Mining and Diving Supply, located in Anchorage for 47 years, has expanded 3 stores. The main store, the largest Skidoo sled dealer in North America, also has Can-Am, Sea-Doo, Climb, Suzuki Outboards, Honda Outboards, generators and snowboards, Kingfisher boats, and so much more. Alaska Motorsports and Equipment just next door, which was previously Anchorage Suzuki Arctic Cat, for all your Arctic Cat, Suzuki ATV, Husqvarna, Generac, Mahindra Tractor, and now Argo Pro and Sasquatch needs. And to round it out, also next door, the brand new Alaska Mining Superstore for the largest selection of recreational and light commercial mining equipment anywhere, period.
The Alaska chapter of Backcountry Hunters and Anglers. BHA is the voice of our Alaska public lands, waters, and wildlife. From national level policy work to engagement with boots on the ground projects from Kotzebue to Ketchikan. BHA performs public land cleanups, hunting and fishing clinics, and community education to help take your game to the next level. BHA's community-minded goal is to uphold our hunting and fishing legacy while keeping wildlands wild and fostering the next generation of sportsmen and women for years to come. Make sure to follow BHA Alaska for upcoming events, local brewery pint nights, and more. Stand up for Alaska public lands and waters by supporting the Alaska chapter of Backcountry Hunters and Anglers. Join us today at backcountryhunters.org.
The Treehouse AK, your one-stop dispensary located at 341 Boniface Parkway. When you pull up to the Treehouse, you'll notice the beautifully hand-drawn art by Alaska's own Ted Kim. Once you get inside, you're going to see many of the same people that have been there since they opened. The bud tenders know you and what you like and what new product you should be checking out. The store is super clean and the music's always on point. The Treehouse and local owner Josh Boots is a staple in the cannabis culture through his music, community givebacks, and a lifetime desire to bring the people of Alaska the best products available. The Treehouse always has at least 25 strains available, and they're all shown prominently deli style in clear, openable jars so you can see and smell your options. Other products include edibles, concentrates, vape carts, pre-rolls, flour, dab rigs, and anything else you need, they got it. They also have some pretty sick merchandise for sale. Check out thetreehouseak.com, or better yet, stop by the Treehouse today and get started on their loyalty program. Remember, you must be 21 years of age to enter their store. The Treehouse, where the culture lives.
Tell us during the next commercial.
180.
Underfunded truck series driver Keith McGee wakes up to more than $181 million in crypto wallet, searching for rightful owner.
I'm rich, bitch.
Yeah.
You could have just like retired and be done with all of it.
Oh, like that's generational wealth right there. Like, you know, my kids could retire.
Yeah. So tell us what you were just in there. You woke up checking your account, and then
Yeah, so it was the end of 2021 season. I was trying to find funding to go race Phoenix because Phoenix always falls around Veterans Day. Being a veteran is just a special race for me. And I think the day before, I made a post thanking all my fans and sponsors and family and friends, and announcing that I didn't find the funding to race Phoenix. You know, we'll focus on 2022. The next morning, I woke up with $181 million in my crypto account. You know, it's one of those things where you wake up
found
and you're
funding.
I am funded for the next 100 Veterans Day races.
And, you know, I in my mind, I'm buying everything, helicopters, private islands. You know, I'm like, oh, you know, just, you made it, right? And then I was like, damn, as equally as excited as I am, there's somebody out there that's pretty pissed off right now.
yeah.
So I went on Twitter and made a post looking for the rightful owner, and yeah.
So you knew right away it was like someone fucked up.
Oh, yeah, it had to been.
Yeah.
I mean, there was like so many things get speculated. There's a guy that made billions in crypto, and people were like, "Oh, this guy can't ever spend that, so maybe he is gifting it to you, right?" But like, there's so many channels that you have to go down to like find out what's going on. But at the time, you have all this money, and it's essentially on your phone.
Yeah.
So anybody could just came up and killed me and taken it.
Wow. So then what was the process after that? Did you actually buy something?
I jumped on a plane and went to Las Vegas, like any man would do.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Mostly, I was going
First things first.
Hell yeah. I'm out of here.
One-way ticket.
we're going to Vegas for SEMA, meeting up with my buddy, and that was all pre-planned before I woke up to all this money. And I got to Vegas. It was, I think, Thursday morning I got to Vegas, and Thursday night I get a phone call, and it pops up, government informant. I was like, I'm definitely not answering this.
Oh, that's what it says?
Yeah. I was like, that's red flag.
Yeah.
10 minutes later, pops back up, government informant. I was like, nope, not doing it. They called back third time, and I was like, okay, they really want to talk. And it was the FBI. And they thought it was drug cartel laundering money in and out of the States. And they wanted me to forfeit the crypto account to them. And so talking to them, I was like, well, you guys know I have this. The drug cartel is going to find out I have this. They come looking for their money, and I don't have it.
Yeah.
I'm dead. My family's dead. Like, I kind of like to be alive. And so I asked him, I said, am I breaking any laws by not giving it back to you? And he's like, technically, no, because it's crypto. We don't know much about it.
Yeah.
So I declined to give it back to him, and still alive. So
What was the coin?
so it was in there as US dollars,
Oh shit.
but it was Sheeb is coins that I owned.
Okay.
And that was like the big hot topic at the time was the Sheeb coin.
Yeah.
But yeah, they put it in as US dollars, so it was pretty wild. You know, I had many people approach me begging for money. A lot of them. Some people saying it was theirs, and you have to vet everybody. And but yeah, it took roughly 6 weeks, and
To find out. Well, what's the
Got it on
process
back.
of finding? I know you said you didn't want to say whose it was, but how do you find out whose it is? How do you?
yeah. So you know, I sat there and thought about it, and I was like, okay, well, I probably should have some legal counsel on this, just because, you know, there's so many unknowns. I'm not cut out for prison. You saw that picture.
No.
Like if that picture pops up in prison, like like I'm having a rough time in jail, right?
Pockets are coming out, baby.
I'm probably very popular in jail with that picture.
And he makes cakes.
I'm trying to think. I can't remember if I had the blonde mullet at that time or not. It was around the same time. But so anyways, yeah, it was just a long process of vetting, making sure that they were who they were and the account matched for the account that was transferred.
Okay.
And it's so easy to do because the accounts are like 36 numbers and digits, and, you know, just you mess up with one of them and it's off to oblivion. And that's kind of what happened. And luckily they got an honest guy.
Dude, people have 1 million, 100. Someone has 181 million in crypto.
So since then, I've met people that have made hundreds of millions of dollars on crypto.
Yeah.
Not me though. I gave it all back.
Are you?
I'm up 300 right
I'm
now.
about to check my shit right now. See what I got, baby. It's been some years.
I don't even believe
Now's
in
the
that
time, it's
bullshit.
back.
But
Or doctors.
well, I do now.
Okay.
I'm looking for one. All right. I turn the corner. Did you? So you got legal counsel. Did you have like a team helping you? Did you have people?
No, I'm kind of big on just figuring it out myself, honestly. Like,
Okay. Well, it was kind of an
it's-
intimidating situation. I would
it was
think.
stressful. It was very stressful.
Okay, stressful. Yeah.
Just because, you know, so many people come out of the woodworks, like, you know, people you went to high school with, and, you know, they're just hitting you up. And I get it already with what I do. Just people in my past coming out and like they see me on SportsCenter or ESPN, and they're like, "Holy shit! Like, is this really you?"
Keith,
I'm like,
remember that time?
Yeah, like, remember that time I let you have a Snickers bar in the 5th grade? I'm like, no, I really don't. Like,
Remember in 6th grade, I bought you that square little piece of pizza?
and so it was just a lot of that, just people coming out of the woodwork, and, you know, like, but I'm used to that, so I can see it coming. So you just, you know, engage lightly, and
Yeah.
they're like, "Hey man, you know, I'm like, can I get a loan?" It's like,
That's crazy.
just leave
dude.
them on red. You know,
Yeah,
it's the greatest
yeah.
thing these days. That really pisses people off. So
Oh, yeah.
Don't worry, I'm still poor.
God, you got to be in a place, right? To ask someone for that, something like that.
the most I had somebody ask for $100 million. Like they started the conversation off first. And they're like, "I'm horrible with money. I'm a
Just
single
honest
mom.
about it.
$100 would really change my life." And I'm like, or $100 million would change my life. And I'm like,
Well,
you know,
no shit.
$1,000 would probably change your life. How do you get to, like, how do you type it on? You're like, let me add another zero. One more.
Yeah.
Well, let's add a couple more.
He's got
100 million.
Like 100 million ain't gonna
let's
change
go.
my
Like,
life.
that's
I'm just
like-
gonna give it
It's
to
like,
you.
did you actually mean for this to say 1,000?
Yeah, it was. So, just a lot of that. And, I had some individuals that came forward that were extremely wealthy that offered to purchase my crypto account from me, and me would just walk away with a massive sum of life-changing money, because it's in there, but you can only get so much out a year, right? I think it's like $2.5 million is all you can pull out of a crypto account and change it into like spendable money. So, $180 million, that's locked up for 70 plus years, right?
Yeah.
Before I can get all out. So I had people that came forward and they're like, hey, we'll give you
90.
50 million was the most I was offered. And, that was really tempting. I'm not gonna lie. At that point, it was like
Hey,
6 weeks
here,
in.
bro.
I was like $50 million right now. Like,
Yeah.
I could live off of that for at least a couple years.
I mean, because your moral,
I'm selling it. I'm telling.
your moral compass is gonna guide you.
At
you know,
50 million, I don't even.
No,
know
I
what
mean,
morals
like
are.
in general, but like it's hard to not, imagine.
oh,
what-
I mean,
what to
there was
do,
a
like-
lot of imagining going on, but it just, I blame my mom for raising me so good. But like,
Just to do the right thing.
yeah, and so, God, wish I could go back. $180 million.
You know what I taught when I was a kid. I learned finders keepers. Bro.
Yeah. Well, the fool me once, shame on me, but you'll never fool me twice.
It probably wouldn't have been worth it.
No, I mean,
Considering
just the
You'd have been
amount
like
of anxiety
living, looking over your shoulder for the rest
Yeah.
of your life.
in a mansion.
Yeah.
And
Private
if you have a
driver.
lot to lose, then it's
Yeah.
even that much worse.
Yeah,
with family and
you know,
stuff, and it's like
It worked out. It was a good, show of like just being honest in a world where it's easy to just turn the blind eye and not do the right thing. So
Hell yeah, man.
just to be able to have that lesson for my kids, to be like, look, my dad had all this and did the right thing, gave it back, and everybody's like, oh, it'll come back to you, and I haven't won the lottery yet, so I'm still waiting on that.
Well, the thing
Still
is,
waiting
like
on
in
that.
reality, if you had even spent $1,000 of that,
Yeah,
just the way karma works,
right.
knowing like
Right.
that's not mine, like this is a mistake, but I'm gonna spend $1,000 anyways.
and that was
Like all hell would have.
Especially
like,
too if it's so dirty already, right?
I knew once I started spending it, I wouldn't have stopped.
oh yeah,
oh,
me neither.
yeah, man.
Yeah, like it would have been like that was so easy.
Just
And
even
everybody
2.2
took
million
crypto.
would have been like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
hard to actually offload a year.
But see, you can spend crypto, and so at SEMA, right? My buddy that's with me was
What's SEMA?
SEMA's that aftermarket car convention that
Okay.
they have in Las Vegas.
Okay.
Like really nice cars,
Some massive
Lamborghinis, and all tricked
Classics and
out. Yeah. And everybody at that point was taking crypto because crypto was hot. So
Yeah.
my
Right,
buddy was
right.
like, "Hey, you guys take crypto?" And then he would weasel it in there like, "Hey, look, take out your phone and Google search this dude." And then they're just like, "We definitely will take crypto."
Yeah, that beer is actually $45.
Yeah, it was so hard not to just buy cars because you see just amazing
hell
cars
yeah,
down there. And I
man.
was like, I finally can afford this.
Right, right.
What was your main focus going to SEMA? Was it just to see cars? Was it
No, so
an industry that you were?
as a driver, it's great networking for because
Okay,
CEOs
networking.
and like marketing people are there at SEMA. So if I can go and get in their face and talk to them, and it's just beneficial. So the plan was just to go down there and try to get networking and try to find more sponsors to go racing with more, and it turned into them just trying to sell me expensive cars. I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Are you doing all that work yourself, like trying to connect with
I do.
corporations and people,
I do it.
sponsors, and
100% by myself. I had a manager from here in Alaska that was helping me, and it just got a lot to do, and we weren't making a ton of money, so I didn't have a lot of money to pay him. But for the most part, right now, like it's 100% me doing everything, photo shoots. I mean, set up my own tripod and did my own editing, and
Yeah.
so I just find nobody's going to work for your goal as hard as you are.
True.
And so when you rely on somebody else too, like they might be having a bad day, or they might have other obligations, or their head's somewhere else. And so just to be able to do it myself, like I know I'm going to try my hardest and I'm going to give my best foot forward every time because it means that much to me. And I've been able to close a lot more deals on my own than relying on anybody else.
so how does those? Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I don't know what you were going to bring up, but
I was curious how it works. Like, how does? Because I know we talked about it a little bit before the show that you said that you get sponsors per race, and I'm assuming that they could buy out all the races of the year. So how do you approach somebody like that? What does that look like?
So, I mean, there's so many different avenues. Like a lot of it's just going on social media and seeing what companies are spending, right? Because they'll spend money to market on social media. And so you can see what they're spending and where they're spending money. And then you can approach them and you can find out. For me, the biggest thing is finding out like what I can provide for that company, because getting sponsored, everybody sees people be sponsored and like, oh my God, they're sponsored because they race cars. And it's like not even close to what it entails. Like so much work goes into it. Like I have obligations to these companies and I have to do certain things, and that's where they find the value. So you just have to find out what these companies need. So I typically ask them where they see they're lacking in their marketing, whether it's social engagement, media creation, new client acquisition, hospitality. And then you can tailor it to that. So you take a couple of their low points and tailor your marketing towards their low points.
Got it.
And that's going to stand out a lot more to them than saying, hey, spend your money to advertise on my car, because you know, that's just like throwing money to be in the newspaper, right? Cool, you're in the newspaper, but what's it do for them? So you show them where it's beneficial to them and where you can use that to leverage what they're trying to do. And it usually works out.
Is there, because as I was looking through your pictures and stuff, I mean, you've had some local people like Brian, big shout out to Brian McKinnon at Packback, and you have some local people. Obviously, some people have different budgets than other big corporations, and you're looking into that as well. Does that go into factor in like what you're going to ask?
Yeah, so the team will usually set the cost of the race, right? So like there's expendables that have to be paid for. So like for instance, I usually go through $15,000 in tires in one race.
Okay.
You know, the engine in the car is $85,000 and it's only good for 1,500 miles. So they'll take that $85,000 and break it down to how many miles you're going to put on the car, and then you pay for that depreciation of the engine. The pit crew's $5,000 that I have to pay for. Getting the hauler out there, you pay for the fuel, and then just all the little things. So it's typically, you know, 50,000 plus per race that I have to find in sponsorships to make it affordable for the team.
50,000 a race.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because, you know, if I go out there and hit the wall, which I do often, you know, you're doing $200,000 in damage, and the team eats that. So they're taking on risk as well.
Got it.
So is this is just damn, I don't even know how to like pose this.
Is it just for like the materials and the races? Is any of that sponsorship money like for your cost of living and stuff like that?
So
I don't know if that's what you're going to ask, but
I mean, sometimes, so I'll usually try to sell the main sponsor, right? So there's different levels. You got primary sponsor, secondary, associate, affiliate. So the primary sponsorship is what the team needs as a hard cost. So when I sell a primary, it's the hard cost for the team. Everything else is profit for me, right? Or if, you know, I want to add more into the car and do things. So, you know, it's not uncommon for me to sell the primary and then have, you know, a ton left over for myself to float me for a couple months. I also get paid out from the race. You get a percentage of race winnings. So it just depends on how your contract's structured with the team.
Is this an industry standard? Take Kyle Busch, you said earlier, right?
Yeah.
Is he?
So
I'm sure he's not.
They have to
beating down the street. He probably has someone that does it for him.
So a lot of them have like marketing firms that either work for them or work for the team, and they go about
too,
that.
right?
But when you say you're paying,
engines. So the truck series, we all run the same engine. It's an Ilmore engine. It's a 6.2 liter based engine, and Roger Penske builds them, and they put these engines in high end Malibu ski boats. But it's what we use in the truck series. So everybody uses the same engine in the truck series. When you get up into the Xfinity series and the Cup series, that's when you have like the Chevy build engine, the Toyota, the Ford, and those engines you rent per race. So you can get
rental from who? Because I thought like, so you guys don't actually own these cars.
I don't own anything. I own my fire suit, my helmet, and my gear, and my seat. The cars, the team owns those. I just contract with the team, find the sponsors, and go race. So I don't own anything. The team has 25 cars, I think, right now.
Oh, and multiple racers?
No, they can.
Okay, so some teams have multiple racers.
So, and that's just every racetrack's different. So we have super speedway trucks, we have short track trucks, dirt trucks, road course trucks, intermediate trucks, and you want to have backups because like we'll race 2 intermediates in a row if I go out and total a truck.
You need another one to hit the track, yeah.
So there's a lot that goes into it. But when you get up in the Xfinity, like the engines there, like Hendricks builds them, or Roush Fenway.
Well, yeah, that's why I was
TRD.
curious. You said they take the price of the engine, the $85,000, divide that by how many miles you're going to put on it.
In the truck series, they do. In Xfinity and Cup series, you pay about $50,000 to $100,000 a race for a rental engine.
So none of those guys own that either.
Some of the big teams like Hendricks owns their own engines because they've got their own engine division. RFK Racing does. Toyota doesn't. Well,
it's cool that you can be. You don't have to be this huge
Entity
to be like you. You seem like a regular guy. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you're just a regular guy that had the ability to create the team and be on a team and get these sponsorships.
No, I didn't build the team.
Did the team come to you?
No, it's a good story though.
All right, let's hear it.
So my whole racing, right? Then this blows people's mind because most people that make it to NASCAR, to the professional levels of NASCAR, started racing when they were little kids, right? 6 years old.
Yeah.
I was 35.
Racing up here.
Yeah, I got discovered racing.
Racing a dirt track in Fairbanks or something?
No, the Extreme Fun Center, go-karts.
What? In
Yeah.
Wasilla?
Yeah, they opened that up, and I was like, man, I've always wanted to be a race car driver. Started going, and I found out it was really good therapy for my PTSD, like better than traditional therapy. So I started going all the time, and for those 15 minutes, I felt free. I felt whole. Like I didn't have the worries that I had every day. I didn't have to look over my shoulder. Like it was so like just intoxicating, and so I went all the time. And pretty soon I set the track record. They had some championship out there race and like a series, and I won all of them and won the championship. And a guy approached me one night and he's like, hey man, you ever thought of racing in NASCAR? I'm like, in my whole life.
Yeah.
And he's like, come drive for me. And I was like, this guy definitely wants to rate me in a van.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
100%.
that's the free candy for adults. Like, come be a race car driver. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Get in here.
it's worth it, right?
Does your back hurt?
Same guy. He's a doctor.
Same guy.
And so
Sounds like
I went and looked at his equipment, and it was, at the time I was like, it doesn't look safe. It doesn't look like I'm going to win anything. Like, but I was invested. Like, I'm going to be a NASCAR driver. So me and a buddy found a car in California and shipped it up, went online, learned what we could learn online for setting up race cars and how to be a race car driver, and went out, and I didn't do horrible, right? I didn't set the world on fire, but I found a bunch of local sponsors. I had a custom fire suit. My trailer was all done up with logos, and I looked the part to the point where everybody else there was annoyed because it was just hobbyist.
Yeah.
And they started calling me Hollywood because here I am looking like a race car driver. And for me, I was like, this is the best I'm ever gonna get. So I'm going to do what I can to like just fulfill this 8-year-old kid's dream of mine, right? That I had. And that's where we gained the attention of NASCAR Discovery Channel. And they came up, did the TV show that never aired, thank God. And but it allowed us to travel. Like part of the deal was we could go down and go to these big races, and they'd put us on TV and interviews. And I used it to network. The woman I was with at the time had a TV show on MTV, and so I knew what I needed to do to network, that things could crumble quickly and it all go away. And I networked, and it just led to more opportunities. And then I got offered to go to California and jump into a K&N car, which is the first level of professional NASCAR. And it's a touring series just on the West Coast. They have a couple of them. And went down.
Is it kind of like a farm league kind of thing where it like breeds?
It's just kind of like the stepping stone, right? NASCAR makes you go through these levels. Like you have to go through the K&N. Now it's called the ARCA series. But they just want to make sure that you can handle the cars, handle the track, handle situations. And I went down and got last place. It was not how I wanted to start my career.
You finished the race?
No, I didn't. I didn't finish the race. The car was horrible. The clutch went out on it, and
shit!
It was not a great experience. But I was like, okay, I'm here. Let's keep going. So I went back the next year, and I had 3 races, and I got 11th, and then 2 top 10 finishes in the next 3 races. And that opened up opportunities. I then got asked to go do testing at Daytona, which, was like right there. That's
top notch. Yeah.
And
is that sounds like a tryout?
Kind of. So you have to go do this testing to get approved to race super speedways.
Okay.
So you have to go do it, but not just anybody can. Like you guys couldn't go jump in one of these cars and go do testing. They just won't let you. So you've got to show that you can handle it. And I had no experience at Daytona, no sim time,
The fucking bank, just
anything. And Daytona's wide open. You never lift off the throttle. You enter that turn at 200 miles an hour and just
hold on.
Mentally have to be like, okay, everybody else is doing it, so this I can probably do this, right? And so they bring us
nerve-wracking, dude.
They bring us down, and I was the last one to go in the group. The first guy that goes out's made thousands of laps at Daytona, and you have to get close to his time. Like I think they said 4/10 that we need to be within his time to.
Did you go by yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
To kind of just prove that we have what it takes, and I was the last to go. Some of the kids were close, a couple of kids were outside of it, and I went out. My very first lap at Daytona was a half second quicker than the guy's time.
Whoa.
I came in and they were like, I was like, oh, you guys got any advice? And they're like, we're not fucking telling you anything. Go do that shit again. And so I went out and I just kept getting faster and faster and faster. And, I think I was supposed to do 25 laps and I ended up doing 56 laps for them and just, beat some doors down.
Man.
Dude,
That's insane.
I've been to Daytona, man, and that place.
You have?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I've been wanting to go to something like that.
I got to go to the 50th anniversary of the Daytona 500 in 2008. I think that would have been 2008. My daughter was born in October. Yeah, 2008. And that's got a legendary
it's a big track
feel to it. Especially we had we had that full track pass and the VIP thing. My aunt and uncle had gone years and years, huge Dale Earnhardt fans. And they were at the race that he was killed in. And they wanted to take me to the race. So I got to go to the full 5-day package where you got to see all the at the time it was Busch Series and then the truck races and then all the NASCAR races. Went to the tent and got the breakfast and the Bloody Marys and got to go down and walk the pits.
Center.
The pits and the whole thing, and just they call it the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's the Super Bowl
NASCAR
of racing.
Period.
And we start with the Super Bowl, so it's
and there were so many other cool things like motorcycle races and things that go out on in the track, and it felt like when you were there and you went down on the track and you look at the way it banks and walk on it is and
it's 2.5 miles the length of the track, and we're doing it in under I think 53 seconds.
Well, and it was incredible, and I wanted to share it because the day of Daytona 500, because I had gone to all these pre-races, and so the grandstands would have a pretty good number of fans in them, and as we approached the Daytona, more and more people started showing up to the area and showing up to the event and the venue, and then there was the Daytona 500 grandstands, and then we were dead center right at freaking the finish line too. We got the sickest spot. You can look across and there's that other panel of seating.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget heat of the race. I just look over and it's 200 and how many people are it? 200,000? Or no, am I over exaggerating that?
I think it's 100 and something thousand.
Yeah. I forget.
It's a lot.
I just remember seeing that amount of people in one area was it was like an organism, dude. It just flowed of human beings, like a sea of people in there. And then the feel of it was something to this day I've never felt at any sporting event of how intense everything felt and why I realized why it was so special, especially the guys racing the cars, dude, because we're all there for them.
Yeah.
I think the best part about NASCAR events, and probably 90% of people or 100% of people that have never been don't realize this, NASCAR is the only major sporting event where fans can bring their own beer in.
Oh.
You can roll up with an ice chest full of beer into the stands.
Man, it seems like they're missing on a lot of sales.
No, it's how it should be.
I
agree.
Where I was at, we couldn't do that at the time.
Well, you can now.
Yeah.
That's
we couldn't do that at the time. Because my aunt and uncle floated the whole cost for me to come, and I told them I'd cover beers. And I spent $2,800 in beers.
Some tracks you have to have.
That whole week, I spent $2,800 for the 5 of us to drink beers.
They were like, hell yeah, he's.
They do
Oh,
require
fuck.
you some tracks to bring in like a clear ice chest, so they'll have like clear bag
so you
ice
can
chest.
see it.
Oh, so you can
Yeah.
see.
See 'em. Some tracks don't, but every track you can bring your own beer in. And you just
But it was just
too
an
much.
incredible. Your story is cool. That like your first run, and then you did the half.
it was
second.
wild. There's actually video of it on my.
That's fucking.
go to
Awesome.
So I snuck a camera in, right? So NBC and Fox have the rights to all of the whatever is filmed, so we're not allowed to have GoPros. So I snuck a GoPro in, and
Is it a real?
rebel.
no, it's let me see, I'm gonna turn.
What's going on with them hamburgers, man?
So I good guy.
Get the mayor all excited about food.
I do cooking when I'm at the track too, so it'll be down.
You know what's really cool is that you brought a lot of personality.
I try.
You know, like the individuality of your brand and what you bring to the industry and the table.
It's you get so many people that are just like polished and like like corporate looking, and
Sure.
then there's me covered in tattoos with a
A muskox in the background and shit.
majestic mullet.
Just a sick little blonde strip.
Yeah, it's still down. So that's the car there that I
Oh, two?
drove. I think it's right. Ooh, it's right there. That one.
This one?
Yeah. So this is Daytona in car at almost 200 miles an hour. Click the audio.
Damn, dude, you're 6,500 RPM. I can see your digital gauge over there.
Yeah, and
I
so
know that noise feels like I'm driving, baby.
I was trying to blend in with these guys to draft with them. You'll see a car come up on my right side. I put air on a spoiler and suck him back, and then I actually hit the apron with the left side of the car, which is terrifying at 200 miles an hour. So I
Oh,
sucked
and that
the air
inside
there,
corner right
and
there?
you see him stall and fall back, and so I'm on the line here, and so you just use the air to slow him down. It's just like I don't know.
So
It's
now
like
you're gaining on him right here.
yeah, and then you gain back up, and then I'm not full throttle here because I'm in the draft, so I'm probably 3/4 throttle. So if I hit full throttle, I'd go over 7,000 RPMs, and I'd go around them on the outside with a run of steam.
Kind of like a slingshot. Like,
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
where that slingshot engage.
That's what I do that on the Glen, baby. Slingshot engaged.
Dude, that's insane.
But yeah, so that's what it looks like inside the car at 200 miles an hour.
So when do you shift? You're not shifting at all. You're just
Yeah,
you're
no,
just pinned.
it's-
pinned.
yeah,
full,
you're
what,
full
six
throttle.
Gear? Six gear?
Four gears. It's an
Oh, it's
H
4
pattern.
gears. Okay.
So you roll off on the start, second gear, you're into third before you hit the start finish line, then into fourth, entering in first turn.
And you're running centrifugal clutches, right?
I have no idea. I'm not.
Is
that-
someone
just- you
filming?
just hit
What
a
do you got?
button
Is that
and it
GoPro?
It's just a GoPro. It's just what?
You hit a button and it just clicks
Oh,
in the
no,
gear.
no.
It's
He's
H
got
pattern.
there's a
You can see
shifter
the
right
shifter.
there on the right.
Oh, I didn't know if that was
No,
something
he
else.
said H pattern. So first, second, third, and then fourth
Yeah.
on the right bottom. Yeah, sick, dude.
What's that little orange button?
That's the oh shit button.
That's a brake bias, so I can control the pressure front and rear on brakes. So we don't use it at super speedways, so you're never on the brake.
No.
But like at intermediate tracks and short tracks, I can adjust how much pressure is going to the front brake. So like if I go into a corner and I stab on the brakes and I feel the front end push, I can take brake out of the front and put it in the back. So that way the weight transfer is different.
Yeah. Can we watch this crash of yours?
Oh, definitely.
Let's see. I think I had it up on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. So this is Charlotte, Memorial Day weekend. My first time at Charlotte. Barstool Sports was my sponsor for that one.
I remember when they first came into the game. Man, people didn't like. Oh shit.
I mean, it was 186
Oh,
into the
no.
wall.
Chandler Smith.
That'd be me right there. Like, bro, I gotta pee.
You can see just all four
This
tires.
wall
a
looks
little
good.
tight. Just look at it. Just barely
Oh,
stepped down.
Oh.
What caused that, Keith?
So on this track at Charlotte, on the
veteran
upper
is
grooves,
Keith McGee.
and they said Army veteran, Air Force veteran, they put down a traction compound to just, as you work it in, it gets more.
To smooth it.
No, it just builds more traction on the high side to get people to go up there to give more lanes of racing. Well, if you don't get into it with all four tires, two tires are going to have tons of traction and the other two aren't. So I overdrove
Okay.
it. The right side got into it. And as I got into the throttle again, it started grabbing and pulled around, you can see the truck.
So the
crack,
right rear
off.
tire grabbed and pulled you
Yeah.
up in it.
Yeah.
Okay, and the left side didn't have the traction.
Yeah, I get back in
Okay.
the throttle and I just.
I see the line
snap me
there.
around.
You see the line, Daniel?
Yeah.
That curve. That's where that traction.
I don't know
See
if
it?
it's the same
Okay.
in NASCAR. In your world, in the Indy world, the rubber peels off of those tires.
Oh yeah.
And so they create those little marbles.
Oh yeah, shreds
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
on the
Up
side.
the-
So as soon as
Up
you
the
get,
very top, you get into marbles.
yeah, if you get up in that marble area, it's a wrap, Jack.
Yeah.
Keith, did you find that the super speedway racing style is actually physically easier than the?
I mean,
Because it seems like you're not shifting and thinking as much. You're just.
well, I don't shift. You don't shift at the other tracks as either. You know, road courses you shift, but the other tracks
Okay.
you're not shifting either. Once you get going, you're in fourth, and you're just using it all
okay.
throttle. So
You're drafting and
yeah,
positioning.
You know,
and,
we let off on entry in intermediates and short tracks, and but it changes every track. On like, you know, there's tracks where you're full throttle through the corners, like Texas 3 and 4, where full throttle through 3 and 4. You lift a little on entry in 1, get back into it 2. You hit the bump. You know, you might have to pedal a little bit, but it's different. I mean, physically, it's less work at a super speedway, but like mentally is more because you're
Well,
going so
you're
quick. Things happen so
hauling
much
ass,
quicker.
yeah.
You're paying attention to the draft. Like, it's really weird to say, but like you see the air, so like you know where to be and what's coming. So mentally, it's more taxing at a super speedway.
oh, I could see that. Yeah, because you're almost floating.
Yeah, it's weird. Like you just sitting there and rock around. There's video of me at Talladega with pack on it when I'm up in, I think, in 6th place, and you can see the car. My mom coming and she's like, "You're darting around." I'm like, "Mom, I'm doing 200 miles an hour." And the air's kind of just taking me where it wants to. It's not like I'm out there. It's just like,
Yeah, it's just I'm
You're
not really
kinda-
controlling that.
I'm along for the ride, just controlling the gas pedal.
Do you prefer an oval track or a road track?
Oval.
Yeah?
Turn left, baby. Just left.
I mean, road courses.
Good road course.
Road course
man.
is fun, but man, that's whew.
I love a good road
Like
race.
you gotta memorize 4 corners in an oval track. A road course, you gotta memorize,
Right,
20.
right.
So.
Damn, remember when they used to have the Ferrandi races downtown?
Yeah.
Dude, they gotta
I
bring that
missed that, man. I
man.
missed that.
Used to go down there and just go on the corner. You'd think they'd crash.
I think it was like right there on, 3rd?
Yeah, it was down by the
God, it's
port.
been a
They'd
long
go all by
time.
the port down there for a while.
Yeah.
Did you ever go to that back in the day?
No.
No?
They used to build these big old snow
Huge
berms.
snow berms.
Yeah, the big berms.
Yeah.
So
and
we
those
did
dudes
some
would get
ice
out there
racing
just-
at Wasilla Lake
Yeah.
a couple years ago in legend cars, and that was tons of fun.
All spiked out.
Yeah.
Nah, these are just cars on the street, bro.
The race I'm doing next weekend is gonna be pretty fun.
What's next week?
So do you guys know
Are you allowed to
Cletus?
say?
Yeah, Cletus McFarland.
Oh, I thought you were
big
gonna say
big
Cletus,
YouTuber. Like he was like
No, but if his name's
huge in
Cletus,
YouTube.
And
that's my homie
So
right there.
he bought a
Who's this guy?
racetrack in Bradenton, Florida. It was a defunct racetrack that had been shut down, and bought it just to film content, and then went and bought a ton of old cop cars, Crown
He
Vics.
bought a
I
racetrack.
Yeah.
I think I
And,
saw something on your.
and
He
then
got
put,
181 million in crypto.
Oh, he's probably got more than that. No, I don't know how much he has. But he bought a bunch of old cop cars and put nitrous on them and roll cages and invites celebrities and influencers to these races. And
With the waiver, just like if
I don't,
you
I
kill
don't,
yourself.
I don't
in
know.
my
I don't
cars.
remember
Well, when
signing a waiver. I don't know.
When you don't see him, tell him you know the mayor.
this
but it's,
this one right here,
I'm
right?
a local celebrity.
It's
Yeah.
it's
That's it
pretty
right there.
fun. So like,
Oh man,
Yeah.
that's like my inner. That's like my inner redneck right there.
yeah. So I got
Get
to go
that.
down last year and do it in November and just had a ton of fun. And then in April,
People are there.
they did a race at Bristol Motor
I know,
Speedway
look at
on
that,
dirt
man.
and in Ford Ranger pickup trucks.
Like
And,
old ones?
Yeah, like anybody can show up with a Ranger with a roll cage in it, and they'd let you race. Well, a driver had gotten hurt, and so they called me, and they're like, "Hey, can you come fill in for this driver?" And I was like, "Okay." And I showed up and won a bass boat. And when they were interviewing me, I was like, "Hey, man, like, does this qualify me to come back for the Le Mullets race?" And he's like, "Yeah, it does." So I'm gonna go down. Co-driver's BJ Baldwin, but like Travis Pastrana's racing in this race. Bucky Lassick, Cowboy Serona, Brian Deegan, Haley Deegan.
Fuck, that's cool. Bunch of
just a bunch of legends and big people on social media and stuff. And then there's little me. I'm just like,
hey, I'm trying to find out who this Thigh Huggers is right here.
Yeah, so Thigh Huggers was one of my sponsors. They partially sponsor my race at Texas when I had the mullet, when the main sponsor was the mullet that changed my life, a Facebook group. And his name's Lance. He's actually was in the Air Force with the founder of Black Rifle Coffee.
Okay.
And so Jared Taylor is going to be down at this race, Black Rifle sponsoring this little mullets race. So he's coming down to hang out. But so he makes like Ranger panties.
Right, got it.
And they're wildly popular.
Yes.
And like different designs and stuff. Like I've had my own pair that had my race truck on it with my signature that he sold, and just really cool. And then sent me that jacket that was so fitting for 4th of July.
It's funny you say that because I was taking care of the Lord's work this morning.
Oh, it is Sunday.
Yeah, man. Doing what you do on the morning throne, getting educated.
Yeah.
And I just happened to order me some desert camo Ranger panties this morning.
Were they thigh huggers? That's disappointing.
So I just heard of Thigh Huggers.
They're really good.
I ordered them from Whoopi.
He ordered the thong.
Yeah. Hey, man.
He won't wear flat bills, but fucking guy wears thongs all day. Like, I don't get it.
Those come in extra large.
Don't hate. I'll rock a thong, because I ain't looking for no doctor.
Really good company, veteran owned. And I know the owner of Whoopi as well, so both good companies. But Lance, majestic mullet, like quintessential. Like the dude's a good looking dude, right? Like he's got a good looking girl, just all American guy. He was a firefighter. He stopped being a firefighter so he could focus full time on his thigh hugger company, and just an amazingly nice guy. So
as American as it gets.
He is. Like if he had a pet bald eagle, like you wouldn't be surprised, right?
Like, oh, there it is.
He's that American.
It actually is on his shoulder.
Yeah.
It's got a 4-foot tall bird.
But he's done a lot of stuff for Black Rifle and all those guys as far as like doing like custom stuff. So he does custom orders, and just a good guy. Like when I first met him, he was showing me his Tinder stuff. Like it was COVID, so like they were like super locked down. So like he would just like set up these huge elaborate photo shoots of like him in like kayaks, like in the bathtub and stuff. And he's like, I like urban kayaking and stuff, and like just all this. It was hilarious. And it didn't help that he was a good-looking dude, so it worked out like gangbusters for him. And then here's me, picture of my spray tan. Like this is my competition
with some fucking jorts.
Yeah, his jorts are
legendary,
custom.
Oh, so his are different.
What are you?
What? I'm looking at Ranger panties, bro.
Now's the time.
Daniel missed the whole Ranger panties.
I did. It's okay. I think we can move on.
These are different from the Whoopi ones.
Yeah,
because the Whoopi ones are cut.
Yeah, these ones
different at a different
angle.
angle.
I like these ones better.
Does it have a gusseted crotch? That's what I want to know.
I'd have to. I don't know.
I mean, you gotta have some space.
Well, no, I'm about to tell you. Let me go to the description.
Is this space for when you wear them to your doctors, just for like growth potential?
Keep things nice and open and loose. Just don't want anything uptight.
Yeah. But no, good guy, and
he even has big boy sizes.
Yeah. And he does women's sizes. I know there's a couple
granny panty division.
Yeah,
nice.
There's a couple females here that are affiliates for him that have discount codes here in Alaska for thigh huggers.
Okay.
All veterans. But
does he make custom ones?
Yeah, he does. He does custom ones. He can do some.
Bro. We need to talk at the next commercial. Ones. I need some mayo.
Keep that race in November. What's that called again?
100%.
This is the 2.4 hours of Lil Mullets. It's next Friday.
Lil Mullets?
Oh, lay Mullets.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Lay Mullets.
So you've got 24 hours of Lay Mons, right?
Yeah.
So this is 2.4 hours of Lay Mullets.
Yeah.
It's on pay-per-view. So
oh, really?
Yeah, it's a pay-per-view event. Usually does really good.
Yeah, I saw
my original note was Lil Mullets.
Little Mullets. No.
Lay Mullets.
Lay Mullets. Right here. Lay Mullets. There's the.
Hell yeah, man.
It's French.
Oh, yeah, Black
Yeah, and that's
Rifle.
my driver. So I had a different driver, a guy named Frankie La Pena, who is like huge on social media, like 10 million followers on TikTok, YouTube. Like,
I feel
gets
like he
billions.
designs transmissions and Daytona or something.
No, so
with a name like that.
You've probably seen his videos. He wears this really large fake butt and like runs like in his shorts, and it's like khaki shorts and like a polo shirt, and he's like running. And it's
I have seen that.
100% you've seen his videos
I
and
have
you've laughed.
seen
And he was my co-driver. And I was like,
Instagrams are very different.
I was like, I guarantee you see one of his videos, you're gonna be like, I have seen this guy's videos. Like, he's like, the only person that gets more views on TikTok than him is Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. The dude gets billions of views, right?
Wow.
Like, doing good. I was worried because I was like, I don't know if this guy can actually drive a race car, so now my work's really cut out. So he ended up not making it. I think he's going to Formula One race in Las Vegas. And so they called me and they're like, hey, we changed drivers. BJ Baldwin is going to drive with you. And BJ Baldwin's 2-time Baja 1000 champion, like 7-time off-road
he's
trucking
fucking
champion.
legit.
Yeah, the dude's a good dude. Loves shooting guns and pretty American. So our chances just went way up.
We're looking real good.
So
Little mullets, and it's the Black Rifle is the primary sponsor.
yeah, Black Rifle is the primary sponsor
Okay.
of this, and that's why there's a lot of Black Rifle guys going. Travis Pastrana and BJ Baldwin, and
Yeah.
all the Black Rifle guys will be there in attendance. So should be good.
Can we talk about your time in the service a little bit? Your
Yeah.
time in Air Force, where you did 8 years?
Did 8 years, yeah, and it's I was just thinking about it today. It was like I got out in 2009. That was 14 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, time flies,
Yeah,
man.
it goes by really quick. But I left for basic training on September 11th, 2001.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was wild.
Perfect
Like,
time.
How old are you?
Well, it's all right. Some
30,
things,
39?
Some things are off limits.
39?
I'm 42. 42.
2001, yeah.
Yeah, it was
That was a really gnarly time to go.
I just got done doing the duck squat walk. If anybody remembers that in MEPS when you're in your underwear and the weird old doctor wants you to squat down and walk across like a duck.
Yup.
It's I don't know what it accomplished other than I think he's his doctor now, right?
Yeah, he was like, I made sure everybody was tested out. Just fine.
Just
But
right.
when you're like fresh out of school,
Yeah, like I'm
it's
like
the most
you're in a cold room with a bunch of other scared kids, right? All in your
traumatizing.
underwear,
Yeah,
like,
you're like,
like Epstein probably was videotaping it, right? Like,
Is that where the fucking PTSD shit really starts?
That's the P in PTSD.
and so
the pre
we get done with that and we walk back into this main room at MEPS, right? And the first thing I see is a Marine captain crying. And I was like, come on, pussy, why are you crying? Right? Like, and Marines don't cry. And then I walk down and sit next to my buddy who was leaving for the Marines, and he's just like staring at the TV. And at the time, cell phones held like 14 text messages, right? Like 10 missed calls. And my phone's full. And I'm like, what the hell? And I pick it up and I'm looking at it. And I look up at the screen. I see the replay of the first plane hit the tower. And I was like, they're fucking with us. Like, they're trying to see who's mentally tough. Right. And then so I started looking at my text messages.
Oh, you thought it was like a
Everybody
test.
freaking out. Yeah. I thought it was like the mental game
shit.
started.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking at my phone and everybody's like freaking out. And I was like, holy shit, like this is fucking real. And then we watched the second plane hit.
Jesus,
and then
what a place to be
took
to
us and-
fucking watch the.
yeah. We were supposed to leave like right then.
Everybody
and get
knows
on a
where they
plane
were.
and fly to Texas. And they end up putting us back at the hotel and then had MPs come down to guard the hotel. And then later that night, they're like, if you guys live within 40-mile radius of MEPS, go home. We don't know what's going to go on. But you guys are government property, so don't go far. I live 41 miles away. I was like, can you just give me that 1 mile and let me go home? And they finally did. It was a Tuesday, right? You always ship on Tuesdays. And, then all my friends are asking me all kinds of questions like, you don't got to go. I'm like, yeah.
I just signed
I
up.
signed up. I'm going.
Yeah, I'm in, man.
And then Saturday they called us and they're like, hey, airspace is open. Get back down to MEPS immediately. And so we took off, went back to MEPS. But because we had already signed up, right, we already had a contractual date of when we were going to finish tech school or basic training. They couldn't make our basic training longer, so they shortened our basic training. So it was like the first time in the history of ever that basic training was short.
Short by how long?
Just a week.
Okay.
So the first week you get the basic training, right? They tell you it's X amount of weeks long. The first week is 0 weeks. So it's like, it doesn't fucking count.
Right,
Just
right.
like your in processing week. It's like,
Oh, okay.
hey, fucking surprise. This isn't first week. It's 0 week. And you're like, fuck. So we essentially didn't
wanna
have
quit
a
yet?
0 week. It was,
and then if you get there
first week.
early, and you're sitting there for like 2 weeks waiting
Yeah.
for more bodies to show up so they can run the actual class.
Yeah, it was
Two fucking
That's
weeks.
the work. Oh, dude,
Yeah.
sit there and it's detail after detail.
But for us, it was just shortened. They were like, "Here's your guys' graduation date." Like, fucking can't do anything about it. So
Send it.
So where did they send you? Where'd you go?
So after that, I went to Biloxi, Mississippi for radar school. I was a radar specialist on the AWACS and went there for like 10 months, I think, and then got stationed in Oklahoma City. And
Radar school on the AWACS, like on the plane, or at,
I mean, they've
air
got
traffic control
no, it's radar school for the AWACS, right? It's
to be on the actual plane.
to fix it when it lands. Right?
Okay, gotcha. Okay,
So then they send you to Oklahoma. There's 3 bases in the world where the AWACS is. It's Tinker Air Force Base in Oklahoma, here in Elmendorf, in Anchorage, and then in Kadena in Japan. And so went to Oklahoma. I think I got there late 2002, and then caught orders in 2005 to come to Anchorage, and that's what brought me to Alaska.
okay.
So then I got
Okay.
out in 2009, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why'd you choose to get out?
so I tried to cross train. I wanted to go a different route in the Air Force, and at the time the economy was bad, and they wanted me to stay there. And they told me, they're like, "You're not going to get out. Like, the economy's bad." And I was like, "All right, well, see you guys later."
Yeah,
So
I'm out.
I got recruited to work for the Department of Defense here out of Alaska on the Alaska Radar Project, which is the 15 long range radar sites that are spread all over Alaska. So I did that until 2020.
Yeah. Man, well, thank you for what you
What a
do.
cool story, man.
Yeah.
And
It's been a wild ride.
Yeah.
well,
man,
and if
jeez.
I was going to kind of wait till the end of the show, but I feel inclined to, thank our veterans.
Yeah.
We're
100%.
we're a few days past our Veterans Day, which was Friday a few days ago. Or folks are going to hear this a couple weeks out, but I felt really kind of guilty on
As you
Friday. Well, no, I was in the weeds with life, work, kids. It was
Snow.
just the snow created like a shit show for work and all that. And on a serious note, though, I got home and I sat on the couch and I'm watching Sports Center and they're commemorating Veterans Day, and I'm like, damn, man. I typically send a text out to a handful of homies
Yeah.
thanking them, and I didn't do it. I didn't even think about it. I didn't even. My wife was off work. My kids are out of school. Everybody's out because of a special day. I didn't.
But
And I
see-
wasn't tuned in. Like, I want to just air and admit that. Like, I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah.
And in this year, I forgot. I didn't.
Yeah, but
I think for me as a veteran, it's almost awkward when I get thanks for my service.
Sure.
Right? Because
Yeah.
it's
I hate it.
It's so it's just one of those like
Yeah, I've heard this
like how do you
before.
respond? Like and
Yeah.
it's kind of just like I didn't do it to be thanked, right? I don't do
Yeah,
anything.
It was
to
your
get
choice.
thanks.
You wanted to do it because you wanted to do it.
I try to push people more to say thank you for your sacrifices, because every veteran has had to sacrifice something, whether it's time with family, friends,
Sure.
holidays, birthdays, pieces of their body, mental capacity. We've sacrificed something, right? So that's kind of more fitting. But I don't know many veterans that are like, "Ooh, I can't wait to be thanked on this one day a year." Right?
Yeah.
It's just like,
And it
we
wasn't.
appreciate the gratitude. Like, I don't want to displace anything like that. Like, I love the gratitude. I'm very happy for people that come up and want to do that, because I know sometimes it's tough to thank somebody for something. So I'm very grateful for that. But for me, it's always kind of just been, I don't know, just like an awkward thing,
Yeah.
just because I don't.
it's super awkward. Like people will come in and say, "Oh, thank you for your service," blah blah blah, and I always say the same thing. I say, "Oh, no worries, thank you." I said, "But you go to work every day. I went to work every day. It's just a job.
Yeah.
We just have 2 different jobs. Like
Yeah.
I'm not walking into
The bank.
the bank saying, "Oh, thank you for being my bank teller for the day." Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for selling me that car last week. Yeah.
yeah. I don't. Like
No, I get it, and that was that's just my, I mean, I know the sacrifice I'm talking about. Like, they're people that missed holidays and birthdays and weddings and
Yeah.
awesomely designed wedding cakes. I mean, there's some guys that could have really enjoyed an awesome wedding cake.
I don't think any of your friends are gonna
No,
have any resentment.
It's me personally just not recognizing what is really special about Veterans Day, which isn't just thanking those people, but just what it represents in terms of just human beings sacrificing for something greater.
Yeah.
And that was where I just felt really, I got over it. I realized, like, damn, man, like, remember there's bigger shit going on than just, like, in your own little fucking zone,
I would tell you that unless you have, and I'm going to say you don't, because I know for the most part your circle, unless you got friends that are every year looking forward to that free meal at Applebee's.
I don't think I've ever gotten one free meal.
Me neither. I think the rest of them would be, I think Keith would probably think the same as me, but we're out. Like, we just try to live our life.
Yeah.
It's easier, not that life is hard, it's easier to go on about life and you don't know anything about me. You know what you know about me, and that's it.
Yeah.
So
I got you on that.
When I started this racing thing, right, and especially when I made it to the professional levels, I actually was committed to myself to not bring up that I was a disabled veteran, right? Because I didn't want, for one, I never want anybody to feel sorry for me because I'm a disabled veteran, because, I mean, look at me, I'm doing extraordinary things. I don't need anybody's pity. I started doing these autograph sessions and noticing how many veterans and disabled veterans were coming to these races. And so it made me go and do the research on how many disabled veterans have been in the sport before me. And when I found that there was none, it was kind of like this feeling like, okay, like, I have this opportunity to use my story to help encourage others to go out and hopefully, stick around for another day, right? Go out and do the things that their friends are telling them they can't do, because the biggest enemy to your dreams is going to be the people around you telling you can't do that. It's impossible. It's going to be too hard. You believe it, right? So I tell people either you believe you can or you believe you can't. Either way, you're going to be right.
Yeah.
And so when I found that there was no other veterans, it was kind of like this, I don't want to say it was an overwhelming like obligation feeling, but I felt like I had an opportunity to really like kind of be this beacon of hope.
Yeah.
And so for me, that's kind of why I stepped out and said, hey, I'm a disabled veteran. And then it forced me to talk about everything, which was really good therapy. And it's helped me deal with a lot of things that I put on the back burner that, just were very dark places. And so it's, but I get what you're saying. So I appreciate
and I like how you worded it. Yeah, for sure. I like how you worded it as opportunity, not obligation.
Yeah.
It's like you're not obligated to talk about it, share it, or whatever, but it is an opportunity.
It is, and
to share something that's going to really positively affect a lot of people, man.
It is, and I feel like
it's a release mechanism.
Mental health is so taboo still to this day. Like it's so taboo, and so to be able to to talk about it and like say, hey, I openly deal with these things. Like I've tried to kill myself twice since I got out of the military. Right, like the last time I tried to kill myself was 2019. Right, so recently, right, so. Even though people see like what they see on social media and whatnot, and it looks like you have this perfect life, like you still deal with all the same issues that everybody that's gone through the service deals with, whether it's poor, health when you get back, or, medicine, or, friend circle disappearing because you're not in the military anymore. And so it's just tough, the integration. So I've dealt with all that. And to be able to openly talk about it, I know people are saying, okay, well, he's doing this, he's being open about it, he's being strong, like, let's keep going. So
Yeah, it encourages people.
Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah. Hell of an inspiration, man. That's amazing.
I try to be. I only get one shot at this life, so I'm just
whether you guys like it or not, thank you fuckers anyway.
Man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, that's good shit, man. It feels good, man. And it always just like it strikes a heartstring, doesn't it? Like strikes a chord.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
I'm saying even for all of us in this room, guys that weren't in the military, like it's still like you feel it. It's special. It's there for a reason. It's
NASCAR is a very patriotic sport. Very patriotic.
Hell yeah.
And,
American.
It is. And so for me, just to be like involved with it, like, and to be the first disabled veteran. So I'm the first disabled veteran in the history of the sport. The first Alaskan.
That's kind of astounding, though.
And so it is. And it's like,
well, actually, it's not in this sense, because most kids start from pups.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They don't actually like go through what you went through and then go, oh, I'm 30 something, gonna get in NASCAR. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah. And I think for a lot of veterans, I don't want to speak for everybody, but
Yeah.
you feel like you give like the prime of your life to your country, right? Like you spend
Yeah.
those years 18 to
18,
whenever. That's really when you're like developing who you are and like what you're trying to do in
Right.
life. And so when you get done, I mean, your body's banged up. Like you're not the same. You got back injuries, arthritis, sleep issues, like the list of things goes on. And so you feel like, okay, I just need to settle into a career and just do day to day. And so hopefully
I was
change that.
having, it's funny you say that because I was having a conversation today on my way here with my kid. My oldest daughter, who's in Wisconsin now, she's like, she was talking to me about something about, Christmas. Like, oh, I'm just going to go work Christmas. I'll get paid like $78 an hour. But I'm like, girl, look, don't be like me and be 41 years old and sitting at home, like, thinking about, like, I didn't get to live, like, the prime of my life. The prime of my life was chilling in Iraq.
Yeah.
Like, go do something with your life so that you're not regretting it like me. Or probably, I'm not going to say, like, you regret your life, but, like,
I have not regretted.
you missed out on that.
The tramp stamp I regret.
Was it number 7?
No, it was tribalized.
You missed
Oh, even worse.
right. You missed out just like I did on that.
Yeah.
That prime, I don't want to say party era, but
If I would have found racing earlier in life, like for one, I'd probably be a huge degenerate right now, right? But yeah, I think about like how much further along in this career I would have been.
Right.
But I also think like had I not suffered that brain injury, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now, anyways. So it's give and take. Like
Yeah, maybe you wouldn't have.
Oh,
such
100%,
love for it,
you know,
Yeah.
100%.
I think the biggest thing is for one, like even with you, like don't think like, oh, I'm 41, I've given up on so much stuff, because if you look at some of the most successful people in the world, they didn't start being successful until they were in their 40s and beyond.
No, right.
Right.
I take what you said earlier. I'm at the VFW this morning cooking breakfast, right?
Yeah.
And I got one of the guys that I work with. He's, a VFW member as well. And I'm just sitting there like bent over, like trying to stretch my back. And he's like, "You good?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, man, my back is just killing me. Here I am, 41. Hurts to walk." And then, the snow didn't help dealing with that and riding that sled down to town.
Yeah.
That didn't help, but 41.
Made for a
and,
good story on Instagram.
Just
I'll
get
tell you
that fucking
My
full
body's-
L5 just compressed.
my body feels, like it's in its 70s at pushing 80,
I'm the only one that compressed my spine at Phoenix, and
So,
we all hit
yeah.
the same bump. So these 18-year-old kids see me over there getting hobbled off to the infield care center. They're like, "What's wrong with Keith?" And they're like, "Oh,
He's
just
got a
old."
masseuse on his team.
He's just old.
Yeah, it's just
He does
takes
a
a toll
compressed
on
disc.
you.
Don't worry about him.
It was miserable, man. The flight
How'd
home.
you end up doing that?
So at Phoenix, I love Phoenix. Favorite short track. Just the
And
characteristics.
it's out in the middle of nowhere too.
It is. It's hot.
So
and-
weird.
But you come out of turn 4, and then there's a
Another
section of
track
the
I've
track
been to.
called the dog leg, and you can shortcut the track there.
Is that where the hill is?
I mean, it does.
You know where
it
the
goes
dirt
down.
hill is?
Can I pull that
It's
up?
probably.
How would I pull
totally
that up
different.
so I
They-
can see it? The track.
Just Phoenix,
Phoenix.
Raceway. So, it's been reconfigured, so I don't know which configuration you're talking about, but
I
everything's paved
went
now.
in 2010.
It's been reconfigured.
Okay.
Yeah, it's different. So I hit the dog leg, and we're hitting it at 140 miles an hour, and you go from the banking of the corner to flat ground, and our
Oh,
trucks
so
are already
fucking flattens out.
less than an inch off the ground anyways. So typically when you hit it, you hit suspension parts and it throws out some sparks. I hit it a little too aggressively and smacked the frame off the ground, which
No,
my
go
seat's
to the one to the
connected
left
to the
and
frame,
down.
and so it just transferred into my ever-aging
right.
back.
Up and that
So
one.
this here's
Does that show it good?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it does.
So you see turn 4 here, and then this is the start finish line. This turn here is the dog leg.
Oh, okay.
And so when we come out of turn 4, we can go all the way over here where it's white and run this inside wall and cut
Gotcha.
out this track. And you carry a ton more speed. You shave off like
Oh,
0.3 of a
shit.
second on your lap,
Wow.
right? So on qualifying, you're trying to be the fastest guy out there.
Right.
And so everybody's hitting it.
Is that for positioning?
Yeah, just for starting order.
Okay,
right?
starting order. That's what I meant.
And I just hit it just right, and it collapsed the suspension. Instead of you try to hit it with left front first, and then the right front will hit. And I hit both front tires first off and so it just compressed. And just sparks everywhere. Everybody on social media said it looked horrible.
And all the vets that have been doing it for years are like, oh yeah, I know what he did.
Well, they're all kids, so they got good. They got good.
They don't worry
discs.
about their back.
I'm 42.
Yeah, before
feel ya.
the track hugged the hill more.
Yeah, so the other configuration, the start-finish line was back here on the back stretch. This would have been turn 1 and 2.
Okay,
turn 3 and 4.
yeah, because
So
where
they
you're
changed
showing
it
me
all.
where it's at, I'm like, that doesn't look the same.
Yeah.
Click on that one to the left, Daniel.
This one?
No, left, up. That one.
This one?
Yeah. Okay. So the finish line is where, Keith?
So this is the dog leg here, right?
The finish line's right there where you see the flag.
But it used to be more this direction.
It used to be over here.
Okay.
So yeah, so they just changed it all up, and I like the configuration. I love the track. Like I said, the characteristics. Turn 1 and 2 are almost flat. Turn 3 and 4 have banking, and then you have the dog leg, and it's got, you come out across the start finish line, and it's downhill and then back uphill. So it's a fun track, and you go 6-7 trucks wide there through the dog leg, and
A hug can get real dicey.
yeah, it's real. It's real hairy.
Real elbow rubbing going on.
But I got out of the truck after qualifying, and I was like, man, that hurt. Like, my back is hurting, and then the adrenaline wears off, and I was like, shit, I can't breathe. And I walked back to the hauler and laid down, and they went and got the paramedics, and they came and gave me some medicine to make me feel a little better. And
yeah.
yeah,
A little juice.
But the ride home,
on the airplane.
like a 6-hour direct flight from Phoenix to Anchorage and I was, sitting in the back. So,
Is that United or who does that direct flight?
Alaska?
Alaska.
What
does
is
that.
Alaska?
Yeah.
It didn't used to be, but
I have to take that flight.
yeah.
Before we go on break, is the Polynesian style tattoo the new tribal?
Wait, looking at me.
You don't have it because I got a homie who got it. He's not Polynesian.
Look, I got this tribal
he's a white
tattoo
boy.
in 1999. Okay, so
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like now you see, you know what I'm talking about, right? You got it right there. Yeah.
No, that's pure tribal. You're talking about like the Polynesian.
No, I'm saying like now is now the
like
Polynesian thing the new
one
tribal.
Dwayne Johnson has.
Yeah,
Yes.
the Polynesian, I would say, is the new fad. Like,
It's a new tribal.
yeah, the new tribal art is.
You're talking
to
like
get
the
that
full like Moana fucking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
It is, right?
yeah. I'm assuming.
made it-
I'm saying 20 years from now we're going to be making fun of the white dude who has the Polynesian tattoo.
I already do.
Yeah.
Okay. All
I
right,
got
just
you.
check.
And
Lick
just
a
so we know,
Polynesian in
I
it.
White guys do
have
that?
gotten my tramp stamp covered with a larger tramp stamp, so it's not tribalized anymore.
All right. Can we get a look at that before we hit
I
this
don't
break?
think that's.
Not that? Okay.
Is it an American bald eagle? I mean,
No,
what
it's
is
a koi fish I got in Thailand.
Big Ray's, the Alaskan outfitter, committed to outfitting Alaskans across the state since 1947. Whether you're a recreator, parent, guide, or corporate buyer, Big Ray's has the gear you need tailored for Alaska's harsh conditions. At Big Ray's, you'll find brands like Carhartt, Grundens, Darn Tough, FXD, Okiwear, and more. Big Ray's is your one-stop shop for both outdoor gear and rugged work attire. Check out their new exclusive line of durable but affordable waders inspired by and named after the majestic Aralik River in remote western Alaska. The Aralik wader was designed by Alaskans and proven for the diverse waters of the last frontier. Visit Big Ray's at any of their 5 locations statewide, 2 in Anchorage, 2 in Fairbanks, 1 in Kodiak, or check them out online at bigrays.com.
Tailored Restoration, helping Alaskans turn disasters into new beginnings since 1972. Their 24-hour services include fire, water, mold, post-emergency cleaning, and repairs. Tailored built its reputation with years of committed and reliable service to the community with innovative restoration and home remodeling. When you have an unexpected home issue at the most improbable time, Tailored has an emergency response number with trained professionals available to help you anytime, day or night. Tailored Restoration has locations to serve you in Anchorage, Eagle River, Matsu, or Fairbanks. Give them a call at 907-344-1239 or make an appointment today at tailoredrestorationalaska.com.
Total Truck, Alaska's premier supplier for custom automotive accessories and overlander products. If you want to customize your vehicle, talk to the team at Total Truck, where you'll find their expertise along with top brands such as ARE, RSI Smart Caps, Goose Gear, iCamper, Frontrunner, Rigid Lights, Rhino Lining bed liners, and everything you need to outfit your truck or SUV. Want to turn your truck into a sleeping option? They have rooftop tents, custom camping equipment, electronics, and solar energy packages to keep you powered up deep in the backcountry. Stop by their store location on Dowling between the new and old Seward Highway, or check them out at TotalTruckAK.com. I just want to remind everybody before we get back to the show here, thank you for visiting the sponsors. And if you have not, and if you are interested in hunting in 2024 in Alaska, the hunting drop period is now open until December 15th. So if you haven't got in there to do that yet, I would suggest now is the time to do that so that you can be eligible to donate to a Department of Fish and Game.
And they appreciate it too. They love them.
My wife, for the first time, actually asked me yesterday, because she saw me like doing all the research and filling out all the shit, and she's like, "How much does that cost?" You know, and I didn't want to tell her it's $300 and something for all the shit I put in, just me, and I was like, "Oh, it's just $5 per thing." She's like, "Oh, $5 per thing? Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad." No clue that you could do up to 6 per every animal.
Right. I'm an avid donor, and
I was like, "Oh yeah," and I do my tag and I do my fishing license and the thing all in one. She's like, "Oh, all in one? Okay, oh yeah, not bad."
So it's like what, $52?
Yeah, no, she didn't ask me a total. She didn't ask me a total, and I was like, definitely.
Still waiting to get a return on my donation.
If you really want to freak them out, just get into racing.
Yeah.
Hard pass, bro.
Then they'll let you go hunting all the time. They'll be like, "Let's go back to hunting." I was only a couple grand. Let's go hunting.
Hunting sounds good.
Yeah, I want to say I had like a $700 bill.
Damn.
One time.
Well, and that's not including putting my son's stuff
when
in, and
your
you
kid-
put in your wife, and you put in your other daughter.
Yeah,
and
that's like four or five people between me and my family, wife and kids, and then partying with people, and party with you and a couple and Eric, and 4 or 5 people are involved, and I float the whole bill, and then
hopefully
I'm like, I never get it back.
That's hopefully.
I don't ever get it. I'm like, I'm the one that orchestrates everybody. Let's do this. And okay, sounds good, Brandon. I'm like, $700 bills, Alaska Airlines.
Charge it.
That muskox didn't cost me anything to kill.
The muskox?
Oh shit!
Huh?
So at one of our rider sites, there's a big herd there, and there's subsistence hunting, and
no way.
Just went online. They did like 13 tags for that zone.
Oh,
and
nice.
just went online, applied for it, printed it out, and went out and harvested it. And the Air
Easiest
Force,
hunt ever?
The Air Force flew the meat back for me.
Oh, that's nice.
I'll probably get in trouble for that one. Hopefully, not listening. We just slid the pilots some meat, and
right on.
flew it all back. We had to drop the head off in Nome so they could cut it in half. But
they have
subsistence. They have to ruin the.
And it was like 3/4 of an inch away from making the record books.
Oh no!
It was huge.
No way.
They called me a year later, and the Fish and Game, and they're like, "Hey, what do you want us to do with this head?" And I was like, "Oh, did you guys cut it yet?" And they're like, "No." And I was like, "Ship it to me."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Okay, what's your address?" And then I gave my address, and I was like, "You're not gonna you guys don't got to do that cutting that you told me about?" And he's like, "Oh no, we're gonna cut it." And I was like, "Oh well, just."
I don't want it.
You know what you do? No, you put it on a wall that's like that, and you put one on one side and one on the other side like that. Like
that would be so.
They cut it.
Sick.
The muskox, they cut it like right above the eye sockets.
Oh, they do it this way.
Yeah, so it like cuts the horns in half. Like it just makes them fully unusable. But they don't want people out there trophy hunting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all.
Oh, I wondered how they cut that. Okay, so they do it like that.
But it was it didn't. Yeah. I think getting the hide tanned was the most expensive part, and the meat processed.
Yeah.
I did see on your page that you're into fishing and doing some hunting stuff. And are you putting in for any other Alaska hunts?
It's so tough because the season takes precedence, right? So I don't know what I'm doing and where I'm going to be at. So the big goal is to get one of those hunting lodges in the lower 48 to sponsor me. I've got a couple of my buddies that drive that are sponsored by hunting lodges, and at the end of the season, they go out and do they'll do like warrior hunts where they'll get like some veterans in on a raffle, and then they go down and do hunts. So like, if anybody's out there listening, you got a hunting lodge, like hit me up.
How about these guys here? How about the let's blow these boys up real quick. The Northern Lights Elk Ranch of Alaska.
I know, right? It's wild.
They definitely need to sponsor you.
Yeah.
Like, look, I'll go out, and if they want to give me a free elk to harvest, like, they're on my truck. Like, let's go. Like, I want to go. I want to go kill it.
Maybe Mo or MJ or
Larry,
Yellowbeard.
Look, it could be their offspring that has a spike.
It could be a button.
No, just kidding. No, it can't. No, okay. What am I saying?
I need a 4x4 minimum.
Let me rethink this. But no.
Talk about this actually, because you brought this in.
It up, Keith. Yeah.
No, but like, it's wild how many people don't know about this, and I was one of them. Right? When I came up here in June,
were all of us
to
3 hours ago.
Move back to Alaska full time. I was staying with a buddy, and he had this huge skull on his wall. And I asked him, I said, "Man, where'd you kill that bull?" And he goes, "Hatcher's Pass." And I was like,
"And it was a bull what?
Bull elk, huge." And I was like, "Bullshit, man! Like, I've lived here since 2005. There's no fucking bull elk running around at Hatcher's Pass." And he's like, "I swear to God, I killed it at Hatcher's Pass. There's a trophy elk ranch out there." And I was like, "No bullshit." Like, and I did the same thing, looked it up online. I was like, "Holy shit, there's a trophy elk ranch in Hatcher's Pass here in Alaska." And then found the full story on it and how these are the same elk that are down in Fognac, that the guy barged them all up, kept the big ones here, and then sent the smaller ones that were not.
No wonder all the boys who went out to Fognac and getting the big ones. They're all on Hatchers.
They're all right over here, man.
And
y'all flying too far.
And yeah, it's insane. Like, it's expensive, but if you were to come to Alaska and as a non-resident and go, kill a grizzly bear, you're paying more than that just to kill a grizzly bear.
Yeah, and it's nothing different than like what's happening in Texas and some of these other places that are fenced in places.
They're building good genetics, right? They're out here breeding these animals to be these studs that they have on their website. And
yeah. And for people wondering, it's Northern Lights Elk Ranch of Alaska.com is the website. And if you're wondering, like, whoa, what's it cost? Let me pull it up real quick.
Like a cheap Kia.
It's about $15,000 to $25,000 depending on the age of the bull.
And you can choose your one. For example, a perfect 6x6. They got Mo up here for $25,000.
They're named.
They got Voldemort, who's a 6x6. He's $17,500. Or you can go with old Stripey for $17,000. Just depends on which one you want. And like Keith said, you don't need a hunting tag. You don't need a guide. You don't need. I mean, people are buying half cows and cows all the time, and people are also doing the bison, the bison hunt. That's kind of the same deal. If you're, there's a lot of families that are only into game meat, and this is a way to actually like purchase game meat. And it's also the reason why when you go to, let's say, Rustic Goat, and you can get an elk steak. You know what I mean? This is a farmed elk. You know what I mean? Because you're not allowed to sell wild game. Right. So, like, people that are curious about that, like, how are they able to sell bison or how are they able to sell elk and things like that through these kind of farms?
And I'm sure they're fed, like, alfalfa and, top quality stuff.
Oh,
it's going to be good tasting meat. Like, hard pressed to find better meat than game meat.
Yeah.
Hands down.
So these are Keith McGee's looking for a sponsor. Northern Lights Elk Ranch of Alaska.
Yeah, let's go kill some shit.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Bring the AWP
So
boys.
this is like a free-range elk.
Yeah, I think it says on there 100 acres right there at the base of Hatcher's Pass, which is just...
Yeah, I'll read it real quick. It says 315 acres total. You'll see hay fields that have a wonderful southern exposure surrounded by majestic mountains, providing an incredible background for your adventure. The hunt area is forested with tall grass, making the hunt a true sport advantage. Elk. 9 creeks run through the fields, providing a natural habitat year-round to salmon, beaver, fox, coyotes, sandhill cranes, and bears. A little bit about them. They began their elk ranching in Alaska several years ago, coming from the Midwest. Paul and Meg
I think they bought it off of the original owners, because from the story I understand, and they have a book of the lineage of all the elk that have come through there, all the bulls, and so that way they can track the bloodline. And so they an individual shipped all these elk to Alaska a long time ago. I don't know, a long time ago. It's longer than I've been here. And took those elk and split the herd, sent the other ones to Fognac, and then the ones from there split it again. And I believe there's another elk ranch over in the Butte. And then from there, they took elk from that one and created one in Glen Allen as well. So there's been a couple
there's a few others that are going to be popping up.
And so these individuals that own this now may have purchased it just, a few years ago, but it's been there for, from what I understand, from a pretty long time.
And that's fully fenced in.
Yeah.
Man, it makes me want to go. Like,
has to be.
And I've
Yeah,
actually
with
been
those
spending a
elk
lot of
scattered.
time in
Yeah.
Hatcher's Pass area and Willow area. Like, I want to go check this place out.
I just
dude.
want to go out there and see
Look at it.
Like,
Yeah.
it's probably
Totally.
beautiful. Like, just to, think
sure.
on a cold winter day, elk out there bugling as steam rolls
Yeah.
across. Like,
Yeah.
it just, man.
Fucking A, dude.
Trying to
That would
find
be
that
sick.
fence line over there where it says it's sit in a river.
Yeah. Let me get my Onyx out.
There's a hole over there.
I mean, I'm gonna. What is the protocol? Like, what happens if one escapes or something happens at the
I'm
fence?
just waiting for someone to
snowstorm
buy
comes and they're all out. Like, do they gather
it's
them up?
I'm sure it's a high fence. I'm sure it's 10+ foot fence, right?
Oh, gotta be.
Yeah, there's got to be the
Elk can jump.
the permitting or
sure
the
it's
rules that go
an
to
electrified
you
fence on
can't,
top of
you
that.
can't.
I mean, you can barely have a
compromise-
chicken in Anchorage. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what I'm
Like,
saying. You can't compromise the natural balance. So that shit has to be
Yeah, but-
locked in.
It makes you wonder why we don't have elk here in Alaska, right? Because right across the border in Canada, there's fucking elk everywhere.
Right.
If you've ever driven to the Haines Junction, you see elk on the side of the
Oh,
road.
yeah. That's the number one
just
caution.
past
all
Destruction
of a sudden
Bay.
you pass Alaskan border and there's
Yeah.
no elk. What the
So
fuck?
it's and these elk are clearly surviving the winter here. So
Oh,
it
they
makes
would
you
survive
know
the
that
winter
they'd be
for
just
sure.
fine.
It is
Yeah.
weird because the diet of an elk is 100 times different than a moose.
Yeah.
So you're not competing
No.
for food with those two
well,
animals
they would
right there.
probably adapt though.
Well,
and have
that
to eat.
They're
you
same
think
as what,
Utah-
deer?
Utah has elk
Yeah,
and moose.
essentially,
You know?
yeah.
So Utah,
Yeah.
Colorado, they all have elk.
Well,
and moose.
I always
Moose
thought
are eating
a mule
trees.
deer and an elk could survive in Alaska for sure.
Well, there's reports of mule deer up
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fort Yukon because there are mule deer in
Yeah.
Canada, right? And they're coming
Yeah.
over. And
Yeah.
just like there's the reports of the mountain
mountain
lions that have been
lions, yeah,
falling.
yeah.
I think they've got
They're
pictures
kind of like
in Fort
hovering on
Yukon
the
of mule
edge,
deer.
right?
There's mule deer up in Prince of Wales.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
They actually just started a mule deer organization.
Yeah.
Up here.
I've got a big trophy mule deer on my wall too. Love
Yeah,
it.
it's
I just saw
wild that
one
they
of those photos.
Yeah, it's
It's a
in there.
monster. What
Big
state
one.
did you get that one in?
Colorado.
Sick, man.
Yeah, the year
Love
I think
to
it
get
was
one of
2
those.
years after that, my brother killed the 26th largest mule deer on record
Damn.
on public land. There's guys from there's an outfit called Big Bucks and Bulls out of Utah, and they'll get governor's tags. They're like $10,000 for people to come and get guided onto specific deer that they see in their
Super,
videos.
blue
They'll go
chip
out.
fucking hunting areas.
Yeah, they'll go out in the wintertime and see these deer and get video of them and then put them in their videos, and then their rich clientele will be like, that's the one I want to kill. They had been hunting this deer, and my brother killed it on public land, and they all showed up while he was caping it out. They were pissed. The guy wouldn't get off the horse, and they were like, my brother's like, what's wrong with that guy? And he's like, that's his buck. And he's like, well, looks like it's mine. I killed it.
Yeah,
And then
public land.
Eastman's Journal was going to run a story. Like they came out and they did the measurements and everything, and it made it into the Boone and Crockett buck. And then one of the guys wrote a story and sent it to Eastman's because my brother wouldn't submit a story. He didn't want people to know where we killed these animals.
Oh.
And then so he wrote a story saying that my brother was guided onto this buck and all this.
Oh, God.
It turned into
they
this.
kind of fabricated it.
Yeah, like small time drama, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, it was a beautiful buck. And the buck's name was known as the Gypsum Creek Legend buck. So I'm sure you can go back and look at old Bucks and Bulls videos from the mid 2000s and see this buck on there. It's
Damn, number 26.
it's
That's
massive.
major, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, without the deductions, it would have been like top 5.
No shit.
So
Is it in here? A picture of it?
of my deer,
Yeah.
Oh, it's like on his wall with one of the cakes, I think.
yeah.
It's just
Actually, I just took
you
a
got it
picture
right
of it.
I randomly saw it. I don't remember which photo it was. I wasn't looking. I was watching.
You saw
Keith.
in the
I was look-
background?
I was looking at Keith talk.
I actually just took a picture of it just the other day because all I have hanging on my wall, because all of my belongings are stranded in Colorado.
Man, they should let them elk
Is-
loose in Hatcher's Pass, man. How sick would that be, dude?
Yeah, there's no reason why you can't have wild elk running around
reasons, but
Yeah, so here's my mule deer I killed.
Oh yeah.
fucking
Oh, that's
monster,
nice.
man.
So,
Yeah, man. Why
I'm
can't they
sure
have-
there's a reason. I'd be curious as to what the reason is, but yeah, I mean, could you imagine a herd of elk?
yeah,
Just
I don't
in
know,
the
because,
Hatcher
we
Pass
have
area?
elk here, right? If Ognack has elk on it, you know there's elk somewhere along the border. So, I mean, we have elk, so,
Why not let them loose?
yeah.
Right.
Well, I've always wondered how far they penetrate north from the southeast.
Probably not as far as your doctor.
No. He was just like, yeah, he's not set for prison. I don't know.
But you think where they're at up by in between Destruction Bay and Haines Junction, it's
Yeah,
not different than like Anchorage.
No, totally not.
they don't penetrate that far though, man. There's something about the natural order of things that hold them back.
I don't know.
It's like black-tailed deer, man. They only go so far. I've heard of guys not heard of guys, a person seeing a black-tailed deer on the Seward Highway up in like Summit area.
Really?
I heard a guy saw a black-tailed deer on the side of the road. And I'm like, fuck, dude, he would have to like come up and over the glacier from
Right,
Prince William
right.
Sound.
He was lost.
But I'm not saying it isn't possible.
Well, I mean, think
Right.
about
I
it.
mean-
Why don't the deer in Whittier come over the ranges?
It wouldn't
That's what I'm
surprise me
saying,
if,
man.
like,
That's what I'm
within
saying.
5-10 years, they're like overrunning.
No,
The Chugach.
it's been, bro. It's been for a long time. There's something about the natural order of Alaska.
I wonder if it's just there's not a lot of there's no wolves over there.
Snow doesn't let them get very far. I think is probably number one.
Yeah, but it gets
Snow
so
loads.
much snow in the wintertime over there. You think they would move out?
I think when they try to go up over the range and the glaciers, though, they can't
Yeah.
penetrate over.
There's
and then,
there's a tunnel. They can just go through the tunnel.
well,
Those idiots. Those idiots.
Jesus, dude, send them through the tunnel, bro.
what are you waiting for? Well, and then you have the predators, right?
Yeah.
You know, you got wolves and bears and stuff. I think that.
Yeah.
I mean, why don't you see deer? Because they can't make it. They
Dude, how sketchy would that fucking Girdwood Highway be if there's you gotta watch out for deer fucking jumping across, dude. I don't know. Be
All
careful
the
what you wish for.
Tourists,
huh?
they'd be stopping to take pictures.
I'm just saying. I think would have happened a long time ago that there would have been
Yeah, but
deer spots.
I mean,
by
I just
now.
saw a report last week of somebody seeing a mountain lion in Big Lake. Right.
really.
There's been reports of mountain lions coming up.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they
I
should
think Chad
right
was
across
talking
from
about
Canada.
it.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's-
Chad had a friend who said he saw one
Big
up there
Lake,
by
though,
like
bro?
Nabesna area.
Yeah. Just last week.
Heard, yeah. Big
Just
Lake.
last week. Yeah. Now
Who knows?
what people see and what it actually was, two different things. But I remember back when I first started hunting in California with my dad, and we used to see grizzly bears, and we'd take pictures, not like, pictures from then, right? Like not on phones, but, and we'd submit them, and they'd be like, oh, no, those aren't grizzly bears. And then years later, they're like, well, shit.
Oh, there was
grizzly bears
here.
Yeah. Well, they said that about the pigs too, didn't they? Didn't they say that about those that they've been seeing them in Connect and stuff like that? My barber sent me actual picture.
No, a video.
A video
Of
of
wild pigs?
Wild
Oh,
pigs
really? Shit, I didn't hear about that.
in
Yeah.
Connect.
Those things.
Yeah, so that's
in the River
pretty-
Valley.
The way that so those start out as someone's pet.
But it
And
doesn't take them long to go feral.
No, once it gets loose and is not raised
It's like
at
30
home,
days.
they turn feral.
Yeah.
It's super weird. My parents had the issue out where they live. They turn feral, and then
And they can multiply like
once they turn feral
Rats.
and start multiplying, it's a wrap.
that's it. You can't
Yeah,
stop
you
them.
can't
Yep,
stop
there
them.
is
Yeah.
no stopping them.
It's like an infestation.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that's why like down in areas like Texas and all that. I mean,
Yeah.
Helicopter.
they
shit.
just go out there and just.
Well, it's
But you think,
many as
you
you
think
can
about
kill.
it
General.
here in Alaska, like the repercussions, right? Like now the predators are going to go after those because they're going to be easier to take, more abundance, and that aversely is going to mean more moose, more of this, which will be detrimental on the environment because now you have more moose competing for that habitat, and you'll see stuff like chronic wasting disease coming in, that way, and then taking out their herd. They saw it in Colorado, right? California's
Right.
seen it.
Yeah.
It's just just gonna be a problematic thing. Like sounds great, but it's just gonna have negative.
Oh
effect
no,
on-
no, no! I'm with you 100%. Yeah.
I do believe though, not an educated guess by any means. I feel like the natural environment and climate that Alaska has to offer is maybe a little more regulatory on like expansive growth of feral wild animals. Because there's been feral wild animals cut loose in Alaska for 100 years.
Right.
And nothing really actually sticks. There could be probably some scientists out there be like, oh yeah, well there's this beetle or this one thing that does.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think mountain lions are going to just flourish. Mule deer are not going to flourish.
But they flourish in Canada and Utah and Idaho.
No, they do,
Northern
which has really rugged, hardcore seasons. But
I think
our seasons are longer.
I think once the smaller game come in, once you start seeing more mule deer come in, if there's more feral pigs, you'll see mountain lions coming in stronger because, a mountain lion taking down a moose is a tall order unless that moose is sick, right? Like, yeah, they take down caribou, so you might see some out there, in the caribou herds more so. But
yeah,
once we start seeing more deer move into the area, I think you'll start seeing more mountain.
And I think it'll happen maybe in our lifetimes.
I think so.
I would say for the first
Especially
time in the
how
last
weather's
5
been
years,
changing and shit.
up until 3 years ago, there was nothing about deer in Alaska other than black-tailed deer in the regulations. Now there's an actual
page.
A page on deer in Alaska. It's like, hey, the only thing regulated is black-tailed deer. Mule deer, whitetail is not. But if you kill something, please let us know.
Yeah.
So that being that it's actually in the regulations is a...
Well, another example of that. Another example of that is when we used to go sheep hunting up in the Brooks Range, in the South Brooks Range. We encountered some muskox that came through our camp, and we went and told when we went to get our sheep drilled or whatever the fuck. We ended up talking to the biologists, and they were like totally astounded that those muskox were coming that far down south. And now here we are, like 5 years later, and there's a hunt for the muskox. You know what I'm saying, in that area. So them traveling, I think it has to do a lot with the weather changes, what's going on with that. And then as the weather changes, so does the growth of the feed and the migration and stuff like that. So, I mean, I could see definitely within like 10 years, mountain lions, mule deer, pigs. Like, why not?
No, I'm with you. I mean,
is it good or bad? I don't know.
Well, I mean, a lot of people don't. Like you learned about it in school, like everybody as a kid, you heard about the land bridge, right, between continents.
Yeah.
What most people don't realize is the Land Bridge National Park is here in Alaska. It's up there, Tin City, where it killed this muskox, right? The closest point, right? You have Little Diomede, Big Diomede, Russia. That was connected. I mean, you can see it on the map.
It's right up there. Yeah.
You go up there right now, and there's fossils everywhere, saber-toothed tigers and woolly mammoths and T-Rexes and everything up there. So, I mean, to think that those animals that aren't climate, ready, especially T-Rex and stuff like that, we're using this area, it's just inevitable that other animals are going to come in. I'm surprised tigers aren't trying to make it out of Siberia.
Well, there's a historical.
That would be the scariest shit. Dude.
If you look into history of the environment or the climate, Alaska used to be a tropical area before the Ice Age rolled in.
Yeah.
So it used to be hot like Hawaii up here, and so you had those type of
critters
and reptiles and stuff, and so. I think it's pretty normal, the Earth goes through climate stages. Yeah. You got hot and cold periods, and now we're entering like that gradual warming phase, and everything's going to change. Someone's going to become extinct, but for the most part, you could see the caribou and everything else, like they're going to adapt.
Yeah.
They all adapt, and they're going to move to different locations than what we're used to.
And what we've been used to and previewed to in our lifetimes, at least mine, things are changing a lot with critters.
Right.
I bet you the subsistence Unit 13 caribou will never come back.
Yeah. You know what I'm seeing?
That's gone.
I mean, less and less.
That thing's gone.
Especially notice this summer being back, especially like downtown, like if you go out to like Anchorage, cougars. And where are all the cougars at? And where's all these saucy mommies? Like,
oh man, you know what? They're down there.
They're migrating south.
They are, man.
We got that's an issue right there. We got,
they're more like at the
girl in Dane's gonna
the Cooper Creek brewery. Cooper Landing Brewery. You're starting to see more
breweries.
down like Girdwood, Cooper Landing.
F Street Bay
Alaska.
just isn't harboring the Cougars that it wants to.
Alaska has on lock the microbrewery scene. Like you go down south, like go to North
You don't
Carolina,
see
go to
that.
Texas, Arizona, wherever you go to, it is nowhere compared to what Alaska has to offer for microbrews and for like just homegrown stuff. Like it's.
I
you
love
come
it because
back
as
and
a
it's just,
grown
like,
person who's
so
over
awesome.
40, like I'm not going to be at the Pio. You know what I mean? I'm not
Right,
going to
right,
be
right.
at Coots, but I will be at the brewery. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
It's like grown.
Yeah.
I guess
right.
I need to stop going to Coots.
No, you can still go to
I haven't been to
Coots.
Coots in years.
Dang, when's the
I
last
heard,
time
they
you
had,
went to
I
Coots?
heard they had a hell of a Halloween party.
Oh, I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't been to Coots.
Found
in a
out last night. I was
hot
like,
minute.
Coots?
I used to have a platinum card.
I won
I
that.
Damn, you had the platinum card?
Oh yeah, dog.
I haven't been to
Holy
Coots since
shit.
I think I had it somewhere in a drawer.
08-ish.
Yeah, the last time I was there, I think I won the sexy Halloween costume contest.
Did you spray on the abs?
No, I just went as a jazzerciser, and I may or may not have had a fake penis that was hanging out, but I won the contest. It was like $400. So this was against look, women. I love Halloween. Women can get pretty aggressive on Halloween.
Changes a lot right there.
And so your competition's always stiff, especially, not that kind of stiff, but Alaska's predominantly men.
like
So when you
pipe
get
stiff,
good looking
or-
women up there wearing Halloween costumes that are very provocative, and you go up there and you win, like,
Oh, 100%.
That's it,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Oh, it's a
Yeah,
full
like-
sleigh
yeah,
fest.
that was.
They don't give you cash; they just give you a bar tab.
So I think that was the last time I was at Coots, was winning that, and that was a good memory, I think, to go out on, top, right?
Yeah.
No need to go back.
Yeah.
No.
I would love to
kept
spend
out,
the
dropped
4th of
mic.
July with you or Halloween.
I'm usually
careful
a
what
pretty
you
good-
ask for.
Be
I'm usually a
careful.
pretty good time. Like I don't do like too crazy of things,
Yeah.
but I'm always a good time. It's just my mentality.
Can
just
you
go
do
have
this
fun.
for us? Can you just let us know when you're around and we can come hang out?
Yeah,
Because
man.
I mean, we're here.
Where are you 4th of
So-
July? You go to the thing if you're in town. If you're not,
If
at
I'm in,
race.
it depends. This year, I got convinced not to go out of town, and let's go to the lake, and we got a wake surf boat, and it was cold and raining, and I was
Yeah.
pissed. And then saw videos of everybody out of the car launch, and they're like, "This is where you should be," and I was like, "This is where I should have been."
So you'll be at the car launch.
It depends. So it's all racing dependent because
Okay.
we typically have races. This year, I didn't have a race going on, and
I'm surprised there's not always a race on 4th of July.
it's not on 4th. I mean, it's that weekend, right?
Yeah.
And
Okay.
so
Oh,
it's just
okay.
it's just dependent. I didn't go to it because my son's birthday is on the 7th of July, 8th of July.
Same,
Definitely.
same 24 hours.
Yeah, it was 12:02 a.m. So it was like really close to
So close. So, and with racing, right? Like, I think that's been the biggest sacrifice with the kids is just me being gone a lot. So I promised him I'd be here for his birthday.
Yeah.
And so I lived up to that promise. And then he went with his parents on their boat down in Seward. And so I didn't even get a signal.
Oh, go figure.
But it's okay
Go
because I was
figure.
here. And so that's what, matters the most. But then I got convinced not to go to the car lunch.
Oh, man,
Because the
it's bad
sun was
friend.
out there. It was like the only place in the state where
Okay,
the weather was nice.
It was shitty on 4th
Can I
of July.
throw this out there?
Yeah.
If you are available and around for the car launch 4th of July next year, we'll go park somewhere and we'll jump in my side-by-side four-seater and the four of us will go right down to the car launch. Can we
Good
do
idea.
that?
The
Yeah,
thing
I'm down to do
is, I'm thinking we make that an event.
Where we go do it? Go live from the
Table
launch?
it. Table this.
I know who owns that property.
Go live from the launch?
Oh, AWP coming to you.
I know who owns
live
that
from the
whole
launch.
Glacier
Live
View
from the launch zone?
area.
No shit.
Okay. All right, Mayor. Pull some strings. We'll be live from the launch zone
Let's
2024.
do it, man.
And if I'm here in town,
change it up.
I'll be there.
Yeah, special guest.
Can you promise us like your son?
I mean, he's at that age. He'll probably want to come with, right?
Oh yeah, bring
that's
him,
what
man.
I'm
We all
saying.
got
So,
kids. Well, how old is
If
he?
you, if you
16.
Oh, okay.
He'll be,
yeah, a
he'll
little
be
older.
and he's
almost 17.
He's an Alaskan resident.
Yeah.
Oh, so then if you promise him, you have to promise us. So he's just part of the team. So
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, if I'm
we'll
here,
just strong arm you.
No, we already clipped this. It's going to go out on YouTube.
All your race sponsors, I have to be
the
there.
thumbnail. Keith McGee pre-promises.
he will be at 2024.
He guaranteed.
Yep. And you can probably call him Morcor.
I'm trying to think. The schedule came out, and I don't know what.
Okay, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the 2024
Yeah.
race schedule.
Yeah.
What do you got coming up right away? And what is the year looking like?
We just announced
February?
yesterday that I'm I've re-signed with the team that I've been racing with, Rio Brothers Racing, and signed for 6 races, 2024, starting the season off at Daytona Super Speedway, February 16th. Nice. And then go to Las Vegas in March, I think the first weekend of March in Las Vegas, and then Texas Motor Speedway, and then Charlotte, North Carolina for Memorial Day. Love that weekend.
That's got to be one of the biggest.
It's the biggest like military draw. So month of May, NASCAR does NASCAR salutes and honors.
That's kind of like the birthplace too, isn't it?
I mean, no, Daytona is the birthplace, but
okay.
The
North
majority
Carolina,
of all the
where
teams
it really
are
goes down.
in North Carolina, right? So
kind of like the Mecca.
Yeah. So
okay.
it's like the Hollywood for racing.
That's
right?
what I meant to say. I didn't mean to say the birthplace. I meant to say that's like the spot.
That's where you get kids from all over the country coming out there to make it, right? So they just show up.
They could go to Hollywood to be an actor, or go to North Carolina to be a race driver.
Mooresville, North Carolina is the heart of NASCAR as far as like making it in the racing world essentially. And so so we got
hold on a second. Or Extreme Sports
Extreme
Center
Fun
in
Center.
the Valley if you really want to make it, dog. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, if you want to make a name for yourself.
Yeah, it's a good place to do it. So, and then I go on to Richmond in Virginia and then close the year out in Phoenix.
When's the Phoenix date? Is there a date?
Spring and fall.
God, I'd love to go down there and watch that, man.
Next year, I think it's the 9th of November. 8th or 9th of November. Because we have the Olympics this year, so we're going to take a week off from racing. 2 weeks off, I think, maybe.
Olympics?
From racing.
The racing's in the Olympics?
No, they just
should be.
They just do a break for the
TV
Olympics.
wise.
Yeah, because NBC is carrying the Olympics, and so
Got
they'll
it.
do a 2-week break for the Olympics. Although
let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Since you're the big dog, in that world, your final race, right?
Yeah.
How can you get us to do a on-site
Phoenix?
podcast on the rooftop?
I mean, you guys
of the speedway
rooftop, impossible. But from the track, probably doable. You just put in for a media package and come down and
that'd be fun, man.
Okay, you're doing Phoenix in November.
Yeah.
Okay, because there's a spring one too, right?
Trucks don't race the spring one, so
Okay.
there's the west. We call it the West Coast Swing, where we would typically we do Las Vegas, California, Phoenix. Trucks only do Las Vegas, and then the California track just got torn down, so there's no California track for the West Coast Swing this year.
No shit.
So it's just
Isn't that usually the second race after Daytona? There's Daytona, it goes to California, I think, right?
second or third.
Do you know a lot about
But
this?
this year we go.
I had some time in my NASCAR days.
Yeah.
This year we go Daytona, Atlanta, then Las Vegas. I don't have the Atlanta race sold, so we're trying to work on that. So there are still 17 races that I need to sell.
Okay, so that's how it goes. You're committed to these races where your sponsorship, everything's covered, and then everything else you have to build up to it.
Yeah, so I just go out and continue to find sponsors, right? So my contract is for these 6 races, and
I'll go with you to the Northern Lights elk guys.
Yeah,
to help sell it.
I don't. It's a tough sell for them. I think
it's a lot of loot.
Yeah, just because their clientele.
Would you do it for one elk?
I mean, I'd give them space on my truck for one elk.
Okay,
but
you heard it first.
Yeah,
So
I already shot him a message.
So
I mean, I
100% did.
That could be a lot of attention.
If I can get a response,
yeah.
Oh, we'll call him right now live.
Ow.
So it's yeah. I mean,
Al just texted me. He said, "Call me."
It's tough. Like there are a lot of Alaskan companies that have sponsored me. Packback being one of them with Brian McKenna. Mm-hmm. Great story there. They came on board with me at Talladega. It was the anniversary of the Route 91 festival.
Oh.
For those that don't know, Brian was at that festival with his best friend Adrian Murphy. Adrian lost his life there, and that race was I think the 3rd or 4th anniversary of the festival. And Adrian had always wanted to go 200 miles an hour. He was a NASCAR fan. Talladega was his favorite track. So it just kind of came together at the right time to have Adrian on the truck. So instead of running my own name on the truck, I ran Adrian's name on it. And then a bunch of
I did see that. Let me pull that picture up real quick.
Yeah,
I think you had it on the.
I started dead last in that race. Ended up leading a lap and then finished 10th. So
you barely qualified?
No, it was COVID, so we didn't qualify.
Okay.
So at that point, we just show up
Signed
and
up
race.
and
Yeah.
okay.
So, which worked out because I'd never been there before.
How?
I was terrified.
First and foremost, great statement, and I know the Adrian and that situation was very, very.
Yes, it's a good little video.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Rocking the double shovel hat.
Yeah, he is.
And Brian's story is
Brian's
of
amazing.
what he's endured and what he's built with Packback and what he's doing with that is incredible. They're actually Packback is going to be on my Le Mullet's car this weekend.
Oh, nice.
Is it really?
Down at the Fantasy Factory.
Fucking awesome, dude.
Yep, we've had Brian on the pod. He's an awesome guy.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful.
So if someone wanted to sponsor you, right?
Yeah.
Out of all of our worldwide listeners, because we got a long reach.
Yeah.
I mean, where do they find out the info?
They can reach out to me on social media. Instagram's probably the best. I'm active. I run my own Instagram, so I try to get back to everybody. That's the best place to reach out and just kind of get the conversation started, right? Like I know everybody's got their own budgets and whatnot. Racing is expensive, but I've got different levels in those sponsorships that can kind of any company can afford, and just work with them and find out what they need. And it's expensive. Like a full sponsorship for the main sponsor is $50,000.
Yeah.
And that's like just
Per
me
race.
making per race. And that's me not making any money. And that's per regular race, right? So like your crown jewel races are base of 100,000. So that's me making no money. That's just what the team requires for their costs. And I don't own any of these cars. I just show up and race them. And
Yeah.
so, but then, I've got stuff that goes down to $1,500 for a race, right? For a spot on the car.
Yeah.
And there's a group here in Anchorage, Shaka Motorsports, group of friends, they're veterans. They've come on board several times at the lower end and helped me out. And they were on my truck at Phoenix, and, they were on my truck at, not at Talladega, they were on my truck at Bristol Motor Speedway, and I raced dirt when Vulcan Towing, which is from Anchorage, was my main
Justin
sponsor.
Creech, man.
So
Yeah.
Justin, love the guy, instrumental. He was the first person that believed in me when I started on this journey, and he footed the bill for me to go down and make my very first professional race. So it was, wasn't very much as far as like what it is now, but it was way more than I had ever expected anybody to do. And he believed me from the jump and said, "Here, let's go do this." And
Yeah.
so love that guy, and for him to come on board for Bristol was
That
pretty
means
badass.
a lot. That's
Yeah,
dope.
him and his crew are gonna come through and plow my lot this fucking week, dude.
Yeah.
I fucking
Oh,
Yeah, dude,
Justin Creech, dude.
what he's done with Vulcan Towing is just incredible.
man.
So.
Those fucking guys are.
And he's a good race car
Clutch,
driver.
man.
Justin's a 2-time NASCAR champion in the weekly series, the track out here in Palmer.
Yeah. How is that? How is the Alaska scene looking?
The track is beautiful.
Yeah.
Not, it's not a lot of people know that there's a NASCAR section track right here in their backyard. So, they need to get out there. It's inexpensive family fun for a lot of summers.
Yes.
I don't know if they still do it, but if you went to Tesoro and got 8 gallons of fuel, took your receipt, you got them for free, the racetrack. So, I mean, you could take your whole family with 3 receipts and free entertainment. But I mean, you go out there with your family and probably spend less than $50.
That's nice. That's real good. Spend more than that at a theater.
Yeah.
Just with the tickets.
Easily.
And it's good, wholesome family fun. I mean, it's a beautiful track. It's right there. Kids can go down and climb in the race cars after the races and meet drivers. And the drivers now, followed my lead and have sponsors, so they're giving away stuff and goodies in the pits and stuff. I used to give away Spy sunglasses after races. So
That's
Really?
nice. I'm curious how
that's
the
crazy. You went full send
when
on
you
that.
do well in a race, how do the payouts go in a race?
So it all depends, right? It's just like crown jewel races, Daytona and Talladega pay out more. The typical purse payout in the truck series per race is like $700,000. So
That's for first place?
No, it's split up between the 36 trucks.
Oh, okay.
And then there's contingency payouts and like little bonuses that happen and whatnot. And so just whatever your contract is depends on how much of that, payout you get and how much the team keeps. But you can go to the Cup Series where the payout is $12 million a race
Yeah.
for in between 38 truck cars. So
So they split it between them all. Is there someone that's making a bigger percentage?
So in the truck series, it's broken down for like finishing order, right?
Okay.
Okay.
For the Cup
Seems
series,
fair.
it's broken down by finishing order, but also by charter system. So charter's kind of like a liquor license, right? They have X amount of charters. You can buy one. You don't need one. If you buy one, you get paid out more. It's a guarantee. And then you're guaranteed in the race. Like if you have a charter, it doesn't matter if you hit the wall in qualifying and qualify dead last, you're guaranteed in the race. So, but charters go for, $30 million. So,
Wow.
Jesus.
So it's not always the way to go.
no. So the team I race for, we qualified into the Daytona 500 in 2022 with a old Formula One champion, Indy 500 winner. His name's Jacques Villeneuve. And so we took him unchartered and qualified into the race, our first attempt at it, and made the race. And it was pretty badass. Got a lot of attention. Not me personally, but the team did. And that was pretty cool. And then we had later that year, we had another F1 driver come over and get in the car, and that was pretty cool.
Well, when you say the team, what's the team's involvement in that? Like, does everybody come to watch it? Is everybody supporting it? Is there a gathering where you,
As far as
like you say, like it didn't bring attention on you, but the team, like,
The
you bring-
mechanics, that's...
yeah, I mean, it's just all the people that make everything happen, right? It's
Yeah.
just a small group of people that go to work every day, put race cars together, and put them on track, and
yeah.
so
Were you guys there actually there to watch the race?
Oh,
Watching
yeah.
it from abroad. Okay.
yeah, you're there.
That's
at
what I
all of them.
meant.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Oh, you are.
yeah.
You're actually there in person, fucking rooting them on, and
Yeah.
like there as a group, as a team. Oh, sorry, guys.
Yeah, so just because, I mean, there's still stuff that has to happen at the track. You got to go through technical inspections. If there's changes that need to be made, or if you hit something. I think in the duels at that, we blew the engine and had to change the engine the night before the Daytona 500, and then we found a sponsor and had to rewrap the car. So I'm in there in the garage in the middle of the night.
wow.
They're
Just
changing
like-
the engine.
Yeah,
and we're
you're
rewrapping the
fucking
car.
making it look good,
right?
yeah.
So like if you like, we start that weekend with just the like base livery, no sponsor on the car. We ran the duel that way, and then we run the race, and it looks like a different car. And we just rewrapped it that
So
night.
are these guys, when you say team, like everyone's got like a thing, like are they like trying to make it to the next level?
I mean, some are
Like your
right.
pit crew, are they ultimately trying to get to be at that
Like
top
everybody-
cup
everybody's building
series
up,
where
aren't
they're
they?
So pit crew pit crews are all hired like from like a couple different organizations, and they're all typically like ex-college athletes, right? That didn't make it into the pros, and they come and do this, and then they work there. They'll like kind of more training they get farmed out to other teams, whether what series it is, and then those teams can be like, okay, well, we want these dedicated guys every weekend, and so they just pick and choose.
so a
So-
team doesn't have its own pit crew then.
Some do, right? Like some do, like the Hendricks, they do.
Your big money
yeah,
guys.
they're paying those guys hundreds of thousands of dollars to
Got
change
it, got
tires a year, and
Right.
but yeah, so your pit crew guys are just hired help, right? So, but you still have all of your mechanics and car chief and crew chief and interior specialist and tire guy, and just there's
But they're
typically
essentially
10 people that work at the shop that also are traveling with the team to make sure everything gets through and done.
But essentially, their goal, I guess. I mean,
Like,
is this like a stepping stone for them,
no, I mean, some people
or is
just
this is where they want to be? They don't want to go
yes,
to that.
I guess yes and no, right? There's some people that show up and they have aspirations to whether it be a driver or crew chief,
Got
and
it,
they've got to
got
kind of work their way up, right, with experience. But there's some kids that go to the NASCAR Institute of Technology, and all they want to do is be an engineer, and then they go and be an engineer. All they want to do is
That's
go and
their
be
career.
an engine guy, and they go and be an engine guy.
Got it.
But like for me, like when I moved to North Carolina in 2020 to try to make all this happen, like I went down. I was like, hey, I know how to operate the sticker machine. I can print out the graphics, and I know how to do design work.
I can drive and wrap the shit out
and
of
I
this
was
car.
like I want to drive for you guys. Here, let me do this, and then chase money to go racing. And so for me, it was just, it got my foot in the door because I went down there and nobody knew who I was. I showed up, and I think there's a picture of it. I had a truck with a race car strapped to the roof of it and a trailer. And,
I remember when you were leaving, Like,
it looked like some real Jed Clampett shit, right? Like, I was Beverly Hillbillies, here we come. Right. And, like, instantly when I got into town in North Carolina, like, people are sending pictures around, and the team owner that I'd already talked to is, like, sending me, he's like, you're already making waves in town. So
he's here.
Yeah.
No, I remember.
Why does it have to be? Why does it have to be next to the fucking Tinder photo though? Like,
it's just the time. It's just the timing of it. Sequence of events.
My guy right here, dude, just loaded.
He's got his kayaks though. Like,
that was an adventure, man.
Extra tires. Are there mountain bikes in the middle?
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah, I got the pack back there. Look at you.
Hell yeah, you do, man.
So let me ask you this:
F-350 dually.
Yeah,
Hatcher's Pass Polaris,
two-wheel drive.
CCA Motorsports.
Yeah,
hell yeah, dude.
Two-wheel drive. It snowed the whole way. It was miserable. It was terrible.
Is that a Power Stroke?
Yeah,
had to be
7.4.
Fucking heavy ass load. Low to the ground too. Low.
No, it's definitely not overloaded. I just got to get a race car on the
Everything's
roof.
fucking just loaded down.
Like the look. I'd pull into gas stations and the people would be like, "That fucking race car in your car?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's a race car."
I've seen side by sides on there.
So
but
I had that.
Okay.
I had that.
How the fuck did you get
I had that ramp built for my 4-place turbo Razor, right? So I could go around and take it to the racetrack and go camping and whatnot. And then I sold it, and I was like, "Damn, I bet you that race car fit up there." And so we put it on a forklift and stuck it up there and strapped it down real good. And it stayed there. And then getting it off was another question. But,
I was going to say, when you got there, like, hey, anybody got a forklift?
Yeah, that was finding a forklift with long enough forks to get under that thing. And then, it was sketchy. OSHA would not have approved.
No,
what they don't know doesn't hurt them.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, all right.
Racing.
So, given where you're at now, right? I know as you said, you're living a childhood dream.
Yeah.
But what's your goal? Granted, you're probably going to say you've accomplished your goal, but are you happy here? Are you trying to?
I mean, I'm that type of person where I'm
trying to give Kyle Busch a run for his money.
No, I don't. I know. I would. Right? I would. I'm a long ways from that point. I'm the type where, like, I get to a point and I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna keep going. Right? Like, I'm not gonna ever be like, okay, well, I made it. I'm done.
It's good enough.
Like, it's just I'm gonna keep going. Like, ultimate goal, not like an ultimate goal, but like I want to start the Daytona 500.
Yeah.
And, like, go do that. Like, that'd be cool. But like, when I started this, it was like, oh, let's go be a NASCAR driver. That was the goal.
Right.
And then I'm here and it was like, okay, like, now what can I do to use this platform to help other people, right? And so that's more of like a goal, just like encouraging people, talking to people, doing, interviews and just encouraging somebody. If I can save one veteran's life by my story, then everything I've had to struggle with, worth it, right? So, to me, that's more of a goal. It's more of a worthy cause than being a race car driver. Like, if you're given a gift and you use it for selfish reasons, then it's a pretty shitty gift. Right. So if I can use my gift to help other people, or even pave a path for other Alaskans to duplicate what I did, Yeah,
man. There's probably some young kid out there right now, like, oh,
there's some talented
There's some
kids
kid right now in Wasilla, bro, at his boy's
birthday.
birthday party. Like, I see the record I'm about to break. You still hold the record?
No, I'm sure it's been broken since then.
Oh, okay.
Right, which brings up a next part is, what do we do here locally out at that racetrack to find the next Keith McGee, but at starting out at the age of 5?
There's a kid. His name's Wyatt Flower. Kid's a stud in the race car. I think he's got to be less than 13 years old. Kid wins every single race in his division for the past 2 years. Goes to the lower 48. Wins down there. I think this year he was a track champion here in Alaska and in Washington, and he lives in Alaska. So they just travel down.
Winner right
Dude's
there.
Little guy is so polished in speaking. Like they interview him, and he's like just on point with his sponsors, with everything, thanking the fans, thanking everybody. Like, just so polished and on point. And like for me, like getting that type of kid like onto the next level, and like just because, not that I'm like giving me his agent or anything, but there's so many unknown questions when you're trying to move forward down a path, and like you're gonna make mistakes. I made a lot of them, like, taking advantage.
If he
by
could learn
people,
anything
like,
from you,
yeah, like just to be like, hey, let me help you get to here, and that way you can do things the right way and not waste years doing it the wrong way. Like to me, that's beneficial, right? Because that kid's gonna have a long time in racing, like, and just the things he can do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you're just beating down a path and making it so it's duplicatable by others is,
yeah,
I think, way better.
That's great.
We've been talking with NASCAR of developing programs for veterans getting out of the active duty to come into NASCAR, just because it's so similar as far as like teamwork based and goal oriented mission stuff. So doing that stuff, just being able to leave a legacy that, when people look me up, that's the kind of stuff they look at.
Yeah,
That's a great answer, man.
that was good.
It's
That was
just,
good.
it's kind of your agenda is more of a selfless act.
Yeah, I mean,
like you can keep doing what you're doing, and it'll all work out.
Yeah.
But what can you do to impact others? And
Yeah, I
maybe expand on.
when I die, I don't want people to be like, oh, it's Keith McGee, the race car driver. It's like, here's the legacy he left, and I was able to do this because of what he did, type of thing. So
Dig it, man.
Trying to bury that $180 million headline. Push that down to that Google.
I think it goes hand in hand with the sacrifice.
it's been a huge sacrifice. Like there's that saying, it's lonely at the top. Like what I've done in racing and going out and doing all this stuff, it's been lonely. Like you make a lot of memories by yourself, right? Like I travel by myself, I get to the races, I've got my friends and my crew at the track, but everything in between is you're by yourself, right? You're at home doing what you need to do to be able
Making
to go
the
racing.
calls, sending the emails,
and you're by yourself. And so it's been like the loneliest times of my life doing what I'm doing. Right. And but it's also been some of the most fulfilling, and just to be able to put your mind to something and believe in it enough to where you're going to do whatever it takes to accomplish it. Like that's pretty dope. But yeah, it's definitely been lonely. And I've never been as single as I have been during this time. Like it's been wild. Like,
do you think social media helps loneliness? Because it almost feels like you're connected to someone. People are reaching out. Like it's kind of like burrs off the edges of
false
it.
advertising.
But it's tough. It's tough to say because we don't live in a time without it, right? So it'd be really easy to be like, yeah, it's causing it. I think it helps us be connected to a lot more people that wouldn't be, because there was that.
I mean, if there was no social media and you're still doing the racing, you'd be extra lonely.
Yeah.
Then you wouldn't have the messages to respond to.
Yeah, that's why I kind of think people put dog it a lot, but like also, you're at least communicating with somebody,
Point.
Yeah,
Good point.
It's definitely done a really good job of keeping people connected. Right?
Yeah.
So, and especially people that you typically wouldn't stay connected with. I mean, like I said, I've had a lot of people from my past reach out to me because they see me on TV and they're like, "This is no way, this is you."
Yeah.
But then there's been good connections too, like from my past that people that I was really good friends with, that their life took them in one way, my life took me another way, and it's allowed us to like come back and like tell stories of high school days and
so
stupid stuff we used to do.
With those people.
Yeah, like, and it's just like a genuine connection of two people that
they don't want 100 million.
They're not asking me for $100 million. and so it's good for that, right?
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of like, it's kind of like a fantasy land, right? Like you typically look at social media, especially like Instagram and stuff like that, and you only see the highs of the highs, right? People don't post their losses. People only post their wins, right? And it's so like everything, right? And you think about it even with our kids, like we celebrate them getting good grades and then get mad at them when they get, a bad grade. It's kind of the same thing. Instead of just being like, okay, well, did you try your hardest? Like, did you do the best you could? Like, where do you think you could change? So social media is kind of like that, right? Like we only post the best things. Like you look at mine and that like really good picture of me on that muskox rug, right? Like I'm only posting the top shit.
Yeah.
Like I'm not sitting there posting the stuff of me, being sad. And
you did not qualify for the race and then post a picture of you with your muskox.
Yeah,
No,
but I'm very transparent. Like even like this year, horrible year of racing. Like I didn't qualify for a couple of races this year, and I post about it and say, hey, shit happens. Like we can't win them all.
This is how it works. Yeah.
This is what life is. Like you're gonna fail. You're gonna have losses. Like own them and learn what you can and move on. I mean, it's
get better.
the same with shitty relationships. Like, we've all had shitty relationships, right? And like, if you just focus on, hey, it was really shitty, then you're just going to repeat it. And you can take away like a lesson from that and be like, cool, this is what I learned. Like, this is how I'm going to make myself better, and just like accept it. You know, it's just get better.
Well, I want to thank you, Keith, for coming in here and being so open about and like honest and not. There was nothing that was off. And I asked you this before we even started the show. Is like anything you didn't want to bring up. You know what I'm saying? I asked that to a lot of the guests, and sometimes they're like, I don't want to talk about this or that for whatever reason. And you'd let everything out on the table. You were so open and honest with everything that you're dealing with and your mental health things and your disability and all that stuff. Like, so just thank you for that. And I think that the listeners are really going to appreciate you being so open and honest. And it feels like anyone could just like message you on Instagram and be like, hey, this or that. You know what I mean?
I tell people
that's
all
so
the time,
cool.
I'm just a regular guy that's got an extraordinary opportunity to do something pretty badass. And I ran with it. Like, everybody has that capability to do it. I'm no different from anybody else. All right. Like, yeah, you see me on TV doing really cool shit, but at the end of the day, I'm just a regular dude. And I'm starstruck at myself sometimes, like, you know, hanging out with some of the people that I get introduced to and hang out with. Like, it's wild. I did slide into Taylor Swift's DMs.
Oh, snap. Watch out.
She didn't answer me back, but you know, she's going through some shit, so I'll give her a pass.
Story of my life too, man.
But like,
just wait till the Chiefs lose. And
you
need to do a celebrity boxing match with fucking Travis Kelce. And fucking set the record straight.
So I won't disclose who I'm dating, but she is a celebrity. So
all right,
okay. All right.
Is it Kitty Fox?
I don't know.
An Alaska for celebrity, or
I will not answer any more questions on that.
well,
You brought it up.
the only reason I ask is I'm not trying to deep dive, but I'm trying to see where the connection is, because homie's looking for a hookup, man.
Oh, damn, man.
No.
You saw his pictures? Mariah should be your Instagram guy.
Just what you do
Mariah
is
Carey be blowing me off, man, and I'm about tired of this.
Mayor, I got you.
Mariah?
Ooh.
She's not Mariah.
No, Maria. You ever heard of Maria?
She's like Mariah's cousin. All right. She's still thick.
I heard about Maria, and then
if people follow my social media, like it'll get more and more obvious as the.
Okay, all right.
By the time this airs, it'll probably be completely obvious.
Okay,
who I'm dating.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Is she gonna listen to this?
Probably. I told her. I tried to get her to come down. She was going to come with her because she's definitely somebody you guys would want to have on your show.
Well, I don't know who you are.
Let's line it up.
When you hear this, _mayor _907.
Could we
shoot me a message?
I wouldn't be surprised if you guys already like are friends with her on social media.
Okay.
Could we get the better half maybe?
Yeah, let's get her on the show.
Yeah, I'm sure she will. She's going with me to the Molds race. So
okay.
Shit.
We're gunning for you.
She must be a keeper if you brought her to the race, bro.
I'm about to shoot.
That's like the test.
That's like sand to the beach, bro.
Like, yeah, let's go.
Shooting you a message right now as a reminder.
Does she wear like a fire? Does she like wear a fire suit with her pretty hair and some like aviators on?
No, she's not a racer. They are going to let her get into one of the cars.
She just comes down like she's a part of the race.
I don't know. This is the first
time
she's traveled with me to a race. So
gonna bring her in.
Wait.
Big moves.
Don't try to guess.
Like I said, it's a new.
We'll let the listeners keep it mystery.
Well,
don't break it off.
I go no.
Don't break it off on.
Like she'll probably hear this interview and be like, I don't know what you're talking about. We're not even dating.
Oh yeah, you guys break up by then.
Oh, that's weird.
The Adrian slid in.
Well,
get off my man's girl, bro. Damn.
I'll tell you who it is off the air.
Okay.
All right, there we go. Well, we're gonna find out, but y'all have to tune in and wait.
You just follow me on social media.
There you go.
No, you can't release that on social media. They got to find out.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to release it. But I'll
follow
tell
on
you what I
social
told her on a date the other night. That how I'm going to release it to the public.
Right here on the show.
No,
we're going to bring her on the show.
No, yeah, but it'll be widely known by then.
Keith
let's make it not wildly known.
Keith _McGee MCGEE_7.
Oh,
yeah.
Follow my man.
Give me a follow. There's good stuff on
there. He's got some good followers. He's got some great pictures. I mean, It doesn't get more patriotic than my man Keith McGee.
I know I'm about to hire him to run my social
We
media.
will
only got
be with
11,000
Keith.
followers.
We will be with Keith on 4th of July. At the thing, check
In the
booth.
future, hopefully, we'll be at the full send.
It's up in the air if his
fucking-
girl going to be there yet.
She
But-
would.
Please still be around. Please still be around.
Even if we are dating, she probably will not be there.
Okay, she probably will
got-
not be there.
And I'll tell you. I'll tell you.
Okay.
After, right? You'll understand.
Oh man, maybe she met the AWP crew. She might change her mind.
Yeah, 100%.
She might, but
Oh,
We'll
Keith,
see.
Thanks for your story, dude.
no,
100%.
thanks for allowing me to come in and tell it.
Like
It's,
I mean, I walked in, I shook your hand, I met you. To hear the story, I mean, like
I feel like
A
we'll be doing
fucking-
Halloweens from here on out, dude. That's-
like this a dude that lives in that lived in Alaska is like living this dream,
Yeah.
man. It's like
it's pretty wild.
it's so inspiring, man. I use that word a lot on the show, man. And I really, really, really want everyone to understand. I don't say it lightly, you know. Like I'm an everyday Joe, job, career, family guy, and I want to do some more. I have more to offer this world.
Yeah, well, we get one shot of this life. Go out and do as much as
I
you
want
can.
to spread my wings and do my thing, and I'm starting at 41 years old.
Yeah.
I'm starting to realize like it's kind of now or never. I want to do something else. Alaska Wild Project is a great platform, and what we're building here is definitely part of that. That legacy and next step that I want to leave on this planet. But dude, thank you for coming in here and giving me just another fucking shot in the arm of like fucking get out and do it. And you got to hustle. You got to sacrifice.
Sacrifice.
You got to work. You got to lose sleep.
You got to believe in yourself.
You might compress an L5 and get a concussion in
Yeah,
the
you
process, but
You have to believe in yourself more than anybody believes in you.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be so many people that tell you your idea is dumb, you won't do it, it's never going to be successful. And like I said, you can believe them, and it won't be. But believe
That's
in
a
yourself.
fact, Jack.
and then when you do, you got to surround yourself with the right people, right? You got to surround yourself with people that believe in you. You got to surround
I mean,
yourself with support.
you don't even need to, right? As long
Yeah.
as you believe in yourself to the point where it doesn't matter what anybody tells you. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter what
Yeah.
anybody tells you because you believe in yourself. And the best thing about it is when you do accomplish it, you get to prove them all wrong.
Yeah.
Right. And I have a lot of friends that didn't believe in me that are no longer friends. And I always tell people that there's people out there that I used to be best friends with that are telling somebody how they're still my friend.
Oh, yeah.
And you moved on.
Yep. And you got to be good at Photoshop.
Photoshop's good.
Look at my man up there with the polar bear.
Now I did not do the photoshopping on this. That is
But whoever
beyond-
did pretty
His
good
name-
job.
His
My
name is
favorite-
Ryan Black. He's here. He's
My
here in
favorite,
Alaska.
my favorite part is the baby polar bear.
Yeah, so
you
that's-
see him just chilling.
That's actually
That looks like the Coca-Cola.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
There's-
don't say that.
there was a sponsor
Really?
that we were
We
trying
will-
to
okay.
trying to get, and so their product is sitting there, and then that sponsorship dissolved before it became finalized.
So you covered it?
Covered with a baby polar bear.
Keith, man, thanks, bro. You're an amazing story, amazing person. Fucking full send. Good luck.
Thank you.
Just nothing but love, man. I love it. And you know what? The whole time you've been sitting here, you've been fucking smiling, man.
Yeah, well, try
You got a
to
smile
be
on
happy.
your face the whole time, man.
Try to be happy.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's an inspiration, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alaska, for listening. AlaskaWildProject.com, KeithMcGeeRacing.com, Keith_McGee_7 on Instagram. Thank you, Alaska, for listening. Thank you to our sponsors. Support our sponsors. Support Keith McGee sponsors. And thank you for listening. Patreon.com/Alaska Wild Project. As always, Alaska.
Stay wild.
You remember my speaking to you of what I call your overcautiousness. Are you not overcautious when you assume that you cannot do what the enemy is constantly doing?
The Alaska Wild Project podcast is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Barney's Sports Chalet, supplying hunters with the best hand-selected gear since 1963. The exclusive home of frontier gear built for the rugged Alaskan terrain. Your one-stop shop for all your outdoor needs. Visit Barney's today at 906 West Northern Lights.
Big Rays, the Alaskan outfitter, committed to outfitting Alaskans across the state since 1947. Whether you're a recreator, parent, guide, or corporate buyer, Big Ray's has the gear you need, tailored for Alaska's harsh conditions. Check out their new exclusive line of aerolic waders. Big Ray's for all your outdoor gear and rugged work attire. BigRays.com.
Tailored Restoration 24-hour emergency home services, helping Alaskans restore their dreams since 1972. Services include fire, water, mold, post-emergency cleaning, repair, and remodeling. Give them a call in Anchorage, Eagle River, Matsu, or Fairbanks. Hit them up at tailoredrestorationalaska.com.
Total Truck and Alaska Overlander, Alaska's premier supplier for custom automotive accessories and overlanding products, providing all-inclusive rental vehicles and trailers custom outfitted to explore the Alaskan backcountry with a unique and convenient traveling experience.
TheTreehouseAK.com, located at 341 Boniface Parkway, Alaska's own and grown cannabis and CBD store. Ask the bud tender what the strain of the day is to get your 10% off. The Treehouse, where the culture lives. AKO Farms, located in Sitka, Alaska, built from the ground up with concentrates as their single motivation, with exclusive products such as their sugar wax, full spectrum diamond sauce cards, and more. Ask your local bud tender about AKO.
Marijuana has intoxicating effects and may be habit-forming and addictive. Marijuana impairs concentration, coordination, and judgment. Do not operate the vehicle or machinery under the influence. There are health risks associated with consumption of marijuana. For the use of only by adults 21 and older. Keep out of the reach of children, and marijuana should not be used by women who are pregnant or breastfeeding.
The Bait Shack, located on Ship Creek upstream of the bridge. Can't miss the bright red shack. They are the go-to fishing gear rental and guide service on Ship Creek. Tight lines and fish on. Come hook into the action with them. Hit them up at thebaitshackak.com.
Lawn Pro AK, Alaska's year-round professional prop